And you're not gonna be able to see us right here, so just know. What's good? It's your boy Q to the motherfucking GOD. We're not doing our normal intro today because today we have a special guest in the building. We have ICARUS
Lapys.
I like doing that more, so I like you saying your last name, so I don't ever mess it up. But we got ICARUS Lapys, friend of ours, met through work and stuff like that. So ICARUS, tell the people about yourself. Everybody knows about me. Wait, let's do us a favor. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment on all the videos and all the things we got going on today because we have a guest in the building. Also, let's clap it up. Oh, snap it up. My fault.
I gotta do it with the. Sorry about that.
There you go.
So, the name is ICARUS Lapys. I've been writing poetry for 16 years. I've been featured in Black Noise, Dead at the Doorstep. I forgot what other publishing company that I was published into recently. I've done a few readings on live on TikTok with a few of my peoples that do poetry. Mm-hmm. Working on a second book. First one didn't go well, but you live and learn. I am 13.
What was the name of your first book?
Voice of the Voiceless.
Voice of the Voiceless?
Voice for the Voiceless. So it's essentially talking about mental health and a lot of things that people go through on a daily. Hence why when you look at the title where the I is a semicolon. Standing for people that survive. Like,
can we pull up a picture of it, or do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, I can look it up on Amazon.
I would like to see it. I just would like to see it.
No, that's fine. I can show it up on Amazon right now, cause
check the chat. See if anybody pulled up. Who the first one to pull up in the chat today?
So. Pretty much this.
Oh, send it. Screenshot it and send it to my Instagram.
I got it.
So then I could pull it up in the chat and everybody can see it.
Yeah, just cross out the name.
The name?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Remember.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard then. When you do it, edit it.
Yeah, y'all edit.
Edit it right now. No, right now, like cross it out so cause I'm gonna pull up my Instagram and like send it to I might add you actually. No, just send it to my actual Instagram. So we could look at it. I think that'd be better off for promotion purposes. But yeah, like edit it and cross it. Yeah, just scratch that bitch.
Yeah,
out.
I mean, so like it's just a show because like I don't even touch that book because, and I'll get into it in a minute.
It's still out though, right? You can still buy it.
Yeah, you can still buy it. But,
that's all that matters. So all that matters. You can say it didn't do good right now, but it could do good in the future reference as long as you're promoting.
No, it's because like I said, I was playing.
You was explaining. Oh, my bad.
So the thing is, when I first did it, it was through a contest. I just paid like, I think it was like $30, something like that for the contest. I paid the fee, whatever, and the contest was, whoever reaches like the top writer for Amazon, whatever, like for selling the books, whatever, you get a trophy, yada yada, blah blah blah. It was just to get my footing into the publishing world. But they did not follow my request to the T.
Okay.
Failed to communicate things or like how things function when it comes to like artwork, book covering, stuff like that. So there was a lot of issues and they were very combatant. Again, other people done well, other people didn't, but because this was a basic subscription fee essentially, or like the basic fee, they failed to tell because it falls on that you don't get much perks or help. Again, other people don't.
I was just checking on the chat.
Yeah. So it was my first footing in, but it got me some attention from people who were like, hey, we want to feature you here and there. Like I said, on TikTok and Instagram, I've been featured, which again, y'all can follow me on it.
Reiterate it. What is the the book? Are you talking about the follow you of the book or the?
No, the page.
Okay, what's the page name? Yeah.
The.
ICARUS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my features are there and it's
Okay.
also on Facebook. So like the same name, ICARUS Lapys, is on Facebook. Y'all can follow it, and I've been tagged on that. But that's my point. That's why I've been focused on my writing, even more as of lately, because I'm trying to work on the second book. I'm still working on the title, but it's based on grief.
Okay. So this. All right. So, what does poetry mean to you in a sense, like, or where did you even like where did the interest come from, more so?
So.
Let's start there before we get into deeper.
So there was no interest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no interest in poetry. Never had an interest in it. It was just a weird thing where, essentially, it became a form of conversation, just not as a person, but with myself.
Okay.
So as a kid, I was always close to my grandmother. I was a grandma's boy, whatever. And unfortunately, she passed away when I was 15. So like the conversations, yada yada. Kind of form a very big, heavy grief, and to let out that grief, it became my writing. Mm-hmm. The crazy part is English was my worst subject. I did not know lick of poetry, nothing.
You saying so English wasn't your best subject? Why do you say that? Like you just didn't, it just wasn't because you're not.
So I'm considered in that time a special ed kid. So like I belong in small classes, so I had a learning disability.
Me too. Me too. At that time, when I was you talking about high school, middle school?
Yeah, throughout the whole school year.
And you always had like that, like one teacher on the side that would like help you sometimes. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, I did well in most subjects, but when it came to English or science, specifically English, it was my worst enemy.
Yeah.
But as I got older and I got to high school, my teacher started noticing that I caught interest of like self-expressive writing, like essentially try to write a form of poetry, whatever. And so essentially, what they would do is to hire up my grades. They would give me like little extra credit assignments with poetry, whatever, yada yada. Just because, like I said, I wasn't doing great English. In doing so, it got me to understand a little bit like playwriting, different poets, yada yada. Like one of the people I started like deciphering, kind of understand how wordplay works. Everything was William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. Okay. We all know. We should all know about him through high school.
Yeah. So when I started understanding that a little bit more is when I started developing my style and everything, and kind of figure out where like when to write long poems, when to write short poems, when to cut a little bit shorter, when not to over explain, yada yada.
What teacher? What grade did you start learning that the most? Like,
actually, I started learning that on my own. High school essentially gave me the foundation how to write poetry and kind of like be expressive, whatever. After high school is when I started studying a little bit more about like on my own, like what is what, like by reading books, everything. I try to do the whole short poems,
yeah.
But it wasn't working with me because like I wanted to essentially marry a style from an author named Atticus. He wrote a book called Over a While, and I was like, let me try to see if I can write something short like that and kind of work with it, but just write it in stanza because I knew my thing was mainly stanzas. It was not working for me. It was a test. And essentially, I just stuck with the whole long poetry thing. So when I did that, whatever, I met somebody at my old job where he was my co-writer, my editor, whatever. So essentially from there, he was trying to teach me how to properly grammatically do things, how to break it down, yada, yada. So I was not only self-teaching me things, I had a friend that was helping me because the thing about him we learned from each other is that if it came to writing, he's good when it comes to grammar and how to fancy things up a bit. And so I learned that from him. When it came to concept, he wasn't that great. I was great with concept, but the minute you try to have me how to write certain things grammatically properly, how to like space things out, whatever, instead of just being run on, I had no clue. Like I said, English was my worst subject. It's because of him that got me the confidence for my writing, learning what to pay attention for to get better and whatever. And then from that, him doing that, I ended up doing...
So, I have a question. So, was the poetry before the book? Poetry's before the books, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when was your first, like, piece of poetry you decided to write? Like, ever, I guess you would say. Like, what year, what grade, what age?
Like, testing out?
Yeah, testing out the waters.
Testing out was August 1st.
Obviously, because most people don't like their,
testing out was August 1st. I can't recall the name of the piece, but I can tell you this, like, if I look at my archives, because I still have, like, the piece of paper of all my writing, they were not the greatest. Because when you look at it from back then to now...
But you would say what year, like?
literally the same year my grandma passed, 2009. So it'll be August 1st, 2009.
2009.
Yeah. So literally, after a couple months her passing, literally a month after my birthday is when I started writing, because I was getting very emotional lately. Where like she's not here, she's not celebrating my birthday, yada yada.
So you were really close with your grandma?
150%.
You lived with her pretty much?
Lived with her, but was raised by her, taught by her, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that woman will always have the biggest honor in my life.
In your life.
That's why the first book that I wrote was an honor to her.
R.I.P. Grandma. Man.
But that's why I was even more upsetting with this book pick, because like when I was trying to have it a certain way, these people just kept messing it up and everything, whatever. And I was like, once I learned what happened and what were the issues and everything, I was like, you know what? It's the first time me doing this. You live, you learn. Now I know what to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But
so 2009 was the first piece of poetry after Grandma.
August 1st, 2009.
Okay. So next question would be, you started to find yourself through poetry, and you started to make your way into the scene of, like, did you get a chance to like go perform yet?
So no,
like on stage, or you're still in the process of like just writing and getting ready to like you're saying, like the book and being behind the scenes more so.
So my first, actually, if you want to consider performance, wasn't until like 6-7 months ago, because a buddy of mine did something called the Poetry Guild on TikTok. If it wasn't for, I'm gonna mention him. It's his name is Tyler. He's the one that featured me in his publishing company, that he's doing it from ground up, which I applaud him. With him being essentially paralyzed with his own illness, whatever, he's still doing what he has to do. And that's why I just look at people like, if this man who is practically with a chronic illness doing what he got to do, take his downtime, whatever, still pick it up again, like to keep it moving, then I got to be at his level, and I'm healthier than him. But because of him, it's where I started building my confidence to reading things aloud more. Like, obviously I haven't posted anything me doing recording yet. I'm in the process of doing that. But like yesterday, like I said, I got into a live with a few of the people that were in the group, and I read a few of my pieces and everything, which got me reminding me, like, yeah, no, I need to start doing more reading out loud. It still needs a little bit of work, but like I had that confidence, like, okay, cool, I had the confidence, I can read it, now I just got to get better at it. So if we want to be technical, like when I started it was about 6-7 months ago, and then I tried it again as of last night.
So you was really writing all the way from 2009, pretty much, or like had a couple pieces here and there till now.
Yeah.
And then you're finally like, or like pretty much this year or last year, you're like trying to actually get out there and perform now.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good step. At least you had the stuff prepared.
Yeah. I
think that's the best part.
Yeah,
like actually practicing and not actually getting out there early. Like, I mean, it's probably the best part, just having it to yourself and practicing and looking at it and going back to it and being like, you know. Because, like, even though you think it might be bad now, but it's a piece of reference. Like, you know, you can go back and always be like, yo, this is how, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's like I applaud myself from the distance I came from, what I used to write into to now. And, like I said, if it wasn't the people that I surrounded myself teaching me, because, like I said, my best friend Luke was the one that was. You gotta
give yourself credit too, though. You went out there and found people. You also went out there and opened up yourself to, like, hey, I need help. That a lot of people don't get a chance to do this, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get a chance to do this, ICARUS. Like, a lot of people genuinely don't get a chance to get their first book out and published, period, and make money off of it. Possibly. It's also,
like, if you look at like in the publishing world, a lot of times that people don't introduce these resources. So like,
that's what I'm saying. You did in my mind, you did a very good job of even. I was like, book. You have a book out? How do you put a book out? I still don't know how to put a book out. So, I get it. Like, I've seen how to, like, you know, like YouTube wise, but versus, like, you know.
So I recently found out that the best way to do it when it's self-publishing, just do it through Amazon. It's like literally a $45 fee, and then the rest is just like, if you need extra services, of course you pay whatever. But you just do it if you want a simple dot, and it self-markets itself because Amazon does it for you.
Right.
Versus certain other company, they don't even explain to you like, hey, we could market it for you, but for an extra part. And that's my issue with the publisher company. That was like nothing was explained. Like I went to find information, but where I messed up, I asked the right questions, but not all the right questions.
The right questions, right.
And yeah, I'm happy that I finally put a book out there. Is it the way I want it? No. Could have done better? Yes. But as I said earlier, you live, you learn. It's my first try. Now with the next one, I know what to do.
I feel like I feel like most people will always feel like that, even when their project damn near came out perfect. Somebody always feel like it's something else could have been fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the like people put up content every day and be like feel like I could have even cut this part out, made it a little shorter. I could have even there's just be something. Everybody has that.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like if you look at my TikTok, there's a few grammatically errors where I'm just like I should have paid attention to this, should have paid attention to that, but I leave it alone because I'm like, you know what? I leave that as a reminder. Okay, you made this error, learn from it, keep progressing.
Yeah, keep progressing.
Versus people that I've seen, they're very.
That shows that you have a lot of not diversity, but adversity in you, and be able to fight through all the little mistakes and feeling like, hey, like I was saying, like during that process, you're watching like certain mistakes happen, but you're still able to get the full book out and get at least part of what you wanted or a piece of you out there that maybe it wasn't the whole, you know what I'm saying, the thing that you wanted, but like there's a piece of you out there now, and still people can go get this book right now on Amazon, like he said. I don't really read that out. Read the title.
A Voice for the Voiceless.
And I just want you to read the title. Yeah, A Voice for
the Voiceless.
For the Voiceless. Go check that out now on Amazon. Everybody that's in the chat right now, y'all should go check it out. If you don't got the money to go buy it right now, at least go check it out and then put it in your favorite list, and then go buy it when you got the cash. Anyways, so yeah. So would you say that since you had this hobby, would you call it a hobby?
Yeah, it essentially was a hobby. Since
you started this hobby, would you call it one of your favorite hobbies?
Yeah, it still is. But like with anything, it takes a toll.
Okay, wait. Before you continue, so out of like those, so name like two more of your other hobbies that you would do. That are you more that you're close to? Okay, that you're close to being passionate about.
So I mean, if we want to talk about something that's not related to like something similar to like work, not work wise, but like takes a lot of effort to do. I'm gonna say like the only few hobbies I have is like collecting Pokemon cards or Funko Pops, just like on a side. As a hobby that comes to similar to that, to be honest, if I had the time and day, which I probably still had the time and day, it'll be cooking. I'll probably do like more videos of like cooking and stuff. Okay, so
you could have just said cooking because you know you like to cook. Like if you genuinely had time to cook and like time, the resources.
So the resources. That's the thing. Like I had time to cook, but that's my whole point. Is like to make it like a out there to I really don't. But that's another thing with cooking is that it's weird because like with poetry, I found out when I was 15 going to 16, or should I say 16? My bad.
Yeah.
Because it was a month after my birthday. With cooking, I found out about it and my passion for it, and like kind of just find it very interesting. It was during COVID time, and I didn't know I could cook. I just knew it was just like I knew how to cook like the basic thing and stuff like that, but to sit there, look up recipe, create my own recipe, with the nitty gritty. I never imagined out of my 32 years be like, hey, I want to be a cook. I want to cook. But I love it. I love cooking for people. I love just anything with just being in the kitchen. It's my therapy.
Okay, what's one of your favorite dishes?
Ooh, so my Spanish rice with the pork shoulder, but the thing is, I do it more of a different style.
I like pork shoulder. I love pork shoulder. Go ahead, what?
The thing is, like, so a lot of people do like sofrito and stuff like that. I do it more of like I do my homemade sazon adobo, but then the binders essentially like to keep it together. I don't use sofrito. I use compound butter.
What is compound butter?
It's more of a water-based butter. It's not as fatty and it's healthy.
Damn, you gotta be hungry as hell now, man. I don't think about that shit. I said,
the next time you're around, I'll bring you a plate.
He said compound butter. I said compound butter. What the heck? Compound butter.
Yeah, it's more water-based than anything.
Okay.
Because like when you look at butters, it's milk and fats and stuff like that. It still has its fats.
You do like the condules. You do like you put the
Yeah, I do look on noodles, but the thing is, I don't use our Spanish rice. I use basmati rice.
Okay, I never heard of basmati rice.
It's a Caribbean. Jamaicans use it more, and Barbados. And it's funny because I learned from them.
Okay.
A lot of the Jamaican peoples and Barbados people that surrounded around when I was living in Connecticut, I learned a lot of things from their culture, what they cook and everything, and especially when you make like the Jamaican rice, it's basmati rice or jasmine.
Speaking of culture, would you mind telling us your ethnicity, sir?
So I'm a mutt. I'm gonna put it just bluntly like that. So I am Puerto Rican.
You got me stuck. Yeah, I heard that. I was what? He said I'm a mutt. I was like, baby, I'm a dog.
No. So I am Puerto Rican, Spaniard, Black, and Romanian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say it again one more time.
So Puerto Rican, Spaniard, Black, Romanian.
What's Spaniard?
So Spaniard is like Spain. Like.
Oh, okay.
So my mom. So.
Yeah, teach me.
So from my mom's side, it's Puerto Rican, Spaniard, and Romanian. My dad's side is Puerto Rican and Black, and when you look at, especially from my dad's side, from the island, most of them look like.
Is he mainly Puerto Rican or mainly Black, or is he half and half?
So he's half and half. It's just like, so like if you want to talk about culture, like he was raised, he was Puerto Rican. Fuck. But like when you also look at the skin tone, you might as well call him a black person because he does not look like.
Yo.
Like I just look at the man like
he could pass for Dominican too. Like
they like most of my family are that dark, but I'm just like.
Oh, but you got your mom's skin tone, huh?
So yeah, but the thing is, it's not the Spaniard, it's not the Puerto Rican, it's the Romanian.
It's the Romanian. Yeah, that's why your hair and okay, that makes.
So when you look at
but that's like Puerto Rican too. But you have like mix. That's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you look at my sibling, the youngest looks more indigenous, like from Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. The oldest looks more Spaniard, because she's like light skinned, and then you just have me that's just random. Like, so what are you? What are you?
That's why I was like, speaking of, what is your ethnicity? I remember you did tell me something, and I was like, I was speechless the first time, but still speechless. Like, damn.
And I didn't really notice the Romanian until I started looking like pictures, understanding the culture, seeing like our ancestors from like my mom showed me and everything. And I'm just like, so out of everybody, I'm the one that came out looking essentially the gypsy family.
Yeah, I get you.
And that's the thing that when you look at also that side of my family, they were writers themselves, like they music, poetry, stuff like that. But you look at my family now, like how they were when I was like younger. Everybody played with music, like played an instrument, sang, yada yada, including my father. And then I was the black sheep, where it's like I have no music talent.
Yeah, what do you mean you have no music talent? How?
So first of all, I'm tone deaf. Don't ever put me to sing. And then, because of my dyslexia, I can't read music notes.
That's valid, but...
It's not like I haven't tried, because I did. Because, like, maybe I could... Nope.
Not drums?
Nothing. Like, I've tried
that does mess up a lot. I ain't gonna lie, that probably what fucked me up, too, and I didn't even peep. Because I used to do drums. The only thing is, I'm not tone deaf. I don't know what tone deaf means. You mean, like, in one ear?
So,
like in one ear?
No. So, what I mean tone deaf is, like, if you tell me sing... a song like how it sounds.
You can't find the pitch or the key. Okay.
I've tried, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna hide this shit.
Okay.
So, and that was rough for me because like I was trying to fit with my family because all they talked about was like music and stuff like that, and then you just have me like, I can't relate.
It's not music's not made for everybody, but it's kind of crazy if it's in your family and the blood and you can't.
No, like I can understand like sound. I can tell you like, hey, this sound doesn't go for a song, yada yada, whatever. But like, not enough to be like saying like, hey, I am part of the music bloodline. And it's funny because music is kind of the core like thing for me when I write because most of the things like I tell people like, if you look at how my writing came from, it's mainly from music, like any songs or whatever, even like an instrumental. And if it's not that, it's conversations or a piece that I read, something. And so that's why I tell people all the time, like, figure out my style with writing and everything, whatever, took a lot because, like, I had to learn how to be very open-minded and observant.
of your own self and like what you're writing type shit.
Yeah, and another thing that I struggle with, and I'll admit I still struggle here, is how to be alone, like in solitude when you're doing these type of things. Because I could do it now better without an issue. Sometime I need to just stop and kind of surround myself with people, socialize, go out a bit, whatever. But younger me could not stand being alone. Solitude was a thing where I did not know how to be alone. I was always trying to be close to people, yada yada. And as I got older, I come to realize that my type of writing involves where I stay quiet in my own corner and focus on that, because if not, I get distracted easily. I lose track of things, yada yada, and then I start procrastinating. Which was a very tough challenge, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one thing that I need to learn of, like, just stay in your corner, focus, do your thing. Once you're done, go about your day.
Yeah. Do you think that made you feel better knowing that you got it done in solitude?
Absolutely. I mean, now I'm at a point in my life where literally most of the time I just want to be alone, unless it's like my certain people. Like, if it's not within those certain people.
I hear you with that. Like, I like that too. I like to be in solitude when I make content. A lot of times I like to be in my own natural element. I can't have a lot of people around me. I get distracted too easily.
Yeah.
I have ADHD
and
out the ass.
ADHD is not a fun, like, it's a gift and a curse. I tell people all the time. It's a double-edged sword.
Like, I literally, before you got here, I'm like, make food, okay, eat. Then I'm like, clean up. And then I'm like, man, I gotta do this. Like, grab something over here. Like, did something totally just not what I was supposed to be doing. I'm like, go set up for the podcast. Move this here. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, like, on a daily to get back to.
That's the thing that people don't understand with ADHD is, like, it's a gift where, like, you get so hyper and energetic doing things, whatever, you can focus. But then the curse comes in is that it's like a golden retriever where it's like, yeah, I'm being a good boy, but squirrel.
Mm-hmm. Squirrel.
And it's funny because the analogy that I use right now is from a movie called Up, that they showed the golden retriever is like, hey, I'm talking to the person, squirrel, hi. The epitome of ADHD.
Literally. I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to be focusing on my editing this clip, and I see something just comes down. I'm like, oh, I forgot to text Shawty, I forgot to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so fast. I was just telling myself, you need to do this right now. Like, you need to be doing this.
So, and that's why, like I said, like, my setup, like, I should have been having a setup about a month ago, but because of work and then me getting distracted with everything, I'm just like, all right, this week, there should not be an excuse. At least figure out how you're going to do your setup so that way you can organize that spot and then worry about the rest. Like, one task at a time. Because that's another thing with ADHD is that sometimes people try to focus on multiple tasks at a time. And it's like, you're not helping yourself. You're trying to be a juggler when you're not a juggler. Like, this is not the circus.
You're literally dropping every ball. You're dropping every ball, sir. You're not even catching. You're not even doing this right now. You look like you're just making the whole bunch of motion. You're not doing anything right now. Because literally that's what ends up happening, because you're doing so much of all right, let me do this real quick, and then if I do this too on top of that, and then if I do this, and then you realize you didn't get back to this. You didn't get back to what you needed to do, which was, maybe it was your book, maybe it was your podcast, maybe it was working out, maybe it was whatever. You just decided to distract yourself with other things that were, you made it more important than what was the other thing that was very important to you. Not saying you did, but I'm talking about people with ADHD.
No,
in general, like me too, for me.
Like, and I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I forget to prioritize certain things, where I'm just like, all right, you're slacking.
Yeah, like, you just know it, and I'm like, damn. But I feel like everybody deals with it a little bit, but not like everybody. But most people have, like, that one thing that distracts them or something like that. But, or they let it get distracted. But it's a choice, man. I'm learning too that, like, it's a choice to get distracted. I'm like, or I could just, focus. Go back to focus. Have to bring that thought back to my mind that I have to focus. And that's what's been helping me lately. Like, I've been trying to get back on to study content, making content consistently. I'm glad that you came today. I'm not going to joke. I'm so glad that you came today, bro. I'm so serious, because I've been trying to get people here, and people, like, my people know, like, if you people in here on the chat know, I've been trying to get somebody in here, like, for, like, not like I wanted to do this for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's still an honor, but like I spoke to you earlier, like, I treat this like if it's a typical job. So one thing I tell people in my writing, though it's a hobby, it's still a job, because I gotta consistently work, like, practice my craft. Thank you. Have everything done a certain way, a certain style, have it done a certain time, even if I take my time, like, working on it, whatever, share with people, even if it's, like, 5 people, whatever, because for whenever you can share with those 5 people, and maybe one of those 5 people, like, oh, I'm going to share with this person, get this done, whatever, and, like, I tell people is that...
Networking.
Well, it's not just networking, it's just the fact that honoring, because, like, so the title of Voice for Voiceless, it came from a phrase that...
Hey, damn, wait, so, how did you come up with the book name, with the book idea?
Well, no, I get it. Sorry about that. I went ahead.
I seen it. I just happened. I was good. That was going to be my next thing, but we got away from it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, go ahead.
So, to answer your question, and ties in with my statements, that a Voice for the Voiceless became a title because it was a phrase I said a while back where, like, my writing is meant for people that are voiceless. Like, I want to be an advocate for people that don't have the courage to voice their opinion or their feelings, whatever. So essentially, be a voice for the voiceless.
Wait, say it again one more time. I want because I get it. I get what you were saying, but say it one more time.
So, it started with a phrase where the whole premises was that I want to be an advocate for people that don't have the courage to voice their feelings, their opinions, anything, whatever. Because we live in a world where literally it's like, don't talk about your feelings, don't be depressing, this and that. And just seeing that,
or in general.
Yeah, and as I started seeing that, it's like I pretty much came with, like, essentially a phrase of, like, I want to be a voice for the voiceless. Hence where the title came in, but with it having the semicolons, because I'm honoring people that unfortunately around that time when I started writing this book. I was already working on it, I just didn't come with a title yet. Around that time, a friend of mine left this earth way too early. Like, he just decided, hey, I'm just going to take fate by my own hand. Which, it didn't help that around that time I was sick myself. I was recovering, and then I get a phone call telling me, like, hey, he passed away.
Sorry to hear that, my boy.
Yeah, and so it was because of him that I just came with the title. Like, this is my point where I don't want to keep living in a world where people want to tell you it's not okay to be open about your feelings or express anything, whatever. And if you can't do it publicly with people and you don't have the confidence, the courage, then I want to be that reason that you gain that courage with this book.
Okay, I like that. But I like that it has a meaning and a purpose behind it. I don't know his name, so I couldn't say RP. I was going to say RP friend, but RP friend. But I like how that drove you to not to hide or be pushed back into the the darkness. You went into a stand in the light more so. Like, hey, I can be a voice for the people who.
Well, that's why with the new book that I'm working on, it's honoring my my boy Dylan that passed away 2 days before my birthday.
Dylan.
Because it was another situation where they tell me, oh, it was diabetes complication. And the thing is, unfortunately, the last time I heard that, there was a little bit more involved than just that. I'm not going to explain more detail out of the privacy for their family and whatever. But long story short, when I found out certain things, and once I heard that specific phrase, I'm like, there's more to the story, but I'm not going to pester them because, like, they're grieving and it's just not right. But knowing what I know, it's just like, okay, I can't. He did not make it to my age. He was still young. And knowing that he didn't make it that far and died young, I was like, if I am blessed to live 32 years old right now, then what am I doing in my life right now where I'm just sitting there where, like, not doing something with it? Like, yeah, I gotta work, I gotta pay my bills, whatever. That's everybody. But you cannot live in a world where everybody wants to put you in a position where you play small. I'm literally drilling that whole statement into my mentee's, like, mind, because I mentor him with poetry, whatever. I was like, and I tell him all the time, you are good with your writing. The good thing about him, you know how to play both roles. You know how to write something more lighthearted and a little bit of the dark side. The problem with you is that you are so focused on what people think because they see you as an underdog and everything. It's like, that's where you should take advantage of it. And I keep telling him all the time, like, you cannot play small. You were not meant to be in this world to play small. Matter of fact, nobody in this world is meant to play small. And I encourage anybody, you have a passion for anything, if it's genuinely something you think that it's gonna go somewhere, do it. Because the last thing you want to do is, God forbid, that tomorrow is your last day, you die with your ambitions being whispering phantoms. So, and that's one day I always tell him, because, like, I'm 32. This year will be 6 years that I had a heart attack, and I was fortunate enough that I'm alive. So.
Oh, I'm holding the mic. I would clap.
No, you're good. So, and that's why, like, I'm trying to do more. I want to be more involved, where I do more lives.
God is good, though. God is good.
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, so I'm thankful, like, my best friend Luke, my mentor Joseph, Black Noise, Dead on Doorstep, the people that I met on TikTok that have shared their writing, whatever. If it wasn't them constantly giving me that confident boost and kind of just helping me, like, be more comfortable putting my work out there more, I wouldn't be here.
Well, it's good for the people that you had around you. I'm glad that you had a good circle around you, a good amount of people who decided to care about you and make sure that you were good as well. That put you in a good state of mind to even be back out here now, to be doing this podcast right here with us right now today, giving us more great influence and more power to be, I say, get up and stop struggling and stop acting like, you know, it's so hard, because it is, but you can do it. You
so
can get up. It has a lot of people.
This is why, like, I tell people, like, if you want to hear, like, anything motivational, listen to what's his name, Matthew McConaughey. I always butcher his last name.
McConaughey sounds right, but
yeah. So there was a speech he did. I think it was for college, also, just like Denzel Washington did. You're not entitled to be in a victim mind complex. Like, yes, you're allowed to go through things. Yes, you're allowed to feel things. Yes, you're allowed to be upset, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But process it, acknowledge that it exists, and let it go. Because the more you dwell on it, it's not going to do anything. Yesterday's already over, and, you know, one thing I learned, we're going to always have our bad days. You had a bad day yesterday, cool, whatever, it's done, learn from it, move forward. And if you are given the gift to live the next day, why are you wasting on focusing on something that happened yesterday that you cannot change from yesterday? The only thing you could do for today is, like, you don't want to deal with that situation? All right, get yourself away from that situation.
Change that today. Change it today. Make it a difference today. Get up and make a difference. God gave you a chance to wake up another day, see another light. I was just telling the chat that the other day in our last podcast, is like, God gave you a breath. You woke up today. That's why you should just go ahead and do what you need to do. The things you love to do, not just what you need to, but the things you love to do. And if you are in a situation, God gave you another chance the next day, and you're still breathing, to do what you need to do and get it right.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I live every day right now doing what I gotta do. Like, and it's not, like I said, it's not just, like I said, my mentees. It's like the people I surround with, like.
And that goes along with mental health, right? Like,
yeah.
A lot of people struggle with that nowadays, and
that's why, like, problem. I tell people, like, find your circle, like, especially us men. Find your brothers, essentially. I get it. We all come from a family that sometimes has its rough edges. You know, they done their thing, whatever. They try to do their best, whatever. But I understand, like, what you've been through. Put it this way: once you hit a certain age, like, say legally 18, whatever, it's no longer anybody's fault what you've been going through, because you are at the age where you can work at a job where it pays more, whatever, and hustle and do what you're gonna do, get away from that. You're at the age where any choice you make falls on you. Technically it's younger, but, like, if you want to be in a legal sense, 18 up, dude, you're your own adult at this point. And it's not easy, don't get it twisted. Nothing in life is going to be easy, but you still have the choice to make. I'm going to get up, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Yeah, so you're in control. You're pretty much saying you're in control of your own life at that certain age.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me say 1 second. Shout out to Ja. Shout out to Spade Zenkai. Shout out to Ted. And shout out to Highlight Workshop. He said thoughts on Israel.
Thoughts on Israel. y'all gonna have to elaborate because I don't pay attention to a lot of politics.
No, he said thought. That's what he said. Thoughts on Israel, but highlight workshop in Loki on some while like he been coming. Last time he came in here on some like talked about Diddy. He was like, "What y'all thought about the?" He said Diddy versus something. I remember last time. I was like, "Wow." How'd you feel about that? Speaking of,
so the part that they caught him on the multiple charges, or the fact that they dropped charges but they kept certain charges.
Let's go with the fact that they dropped a certain charge. How you feel about that? They dropped
it doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna be honest with you because how you are caught in those charges, but the system said like, nah, we're not gonna charge you with this, but we're gonna charge you.
The jury, the people in the thing was this. We did the whole podcast. That one had like 50 views, bro. Like people was just saying like the jury literally said no, like they just couldn't find. They said that the other counts they found him not guilty of. But the one that they definitely needed, which was racketeering, he definitely wasn't. They didn't have a.
But my thing is, it doesn't matter to the jury. The fact that you're dictating what he should be held accountable or not, and the thing is, like, first of all, as a person in general, put the whole jury thing, put the law aside. Whatever. As a person, a wrong is a wrong, and a right is a right. So like, if you done 1,000 wrong, you have to hold yourself accountable for those 1,000 wrongs. Simple as that. And the thing is, that's why I tell people choices have consequences, good or bad. For the fact that the system sits here dictates what you should be held accountable, knowing that is foul, like what you did. All you did was completely foul, and then you sit here, say, "Well, we're not gonna charge you for this, but we're gonna charge you for this." Make it make sense to me. Mm-hmm. Like,
nah. So you think he should be? What do you like? You think he should be charged, and how long you think should his jail time be? Because low key, right? So they were saying they were saying they were trying to get him on racketeering. Racketeering was like 20 years and like life. Racketeering was life.
How old is he?
He's like 50 to like 54, almost 60 years old. He's almost 60 years old. Almost 60 years old, I believe. Hey Siri, how old is Diddy Combs? 55.
55. So say they give him the 20. Forget the life.
No, there was no 20. It's only racketeering, which is racketeering goes like 20 to life. That's what it is. It's like you're getting life. There's no like in between. It's like racketeering is life. Well, hold on. Like, then there was sex trafficking, which is if they does get him on it, it's technically like 10 years, 10 to 5 years or 5 to 10 years, whatever. And then if they got him on prostitution would be like 5 years or whatever. So which one do you think he deserves out of all of them? For everything that you just know about him, not based off of what I'm not law wise, 5, or 10,
with everything he has done.
Because some people I feel like he just deserved a solid 5 years. If anything, give him 5 years because the things that he had done was like, all right. But he's also already been serving time for a year, so also include that. He's not supposed to get out until October.
No, because like when you come at like if you're essentially, how do I put it? Like, the way everybody's putting, like he was in control of everything, like low key.
He was.
And if you're that much of a very foul person like that, I'm sorry, you deserve life. Because say we give you the 5 years, right? Let's say whatever you deserve 5 years. What is the guarantee that he's not gonna act out again?
He's definitely gonna be on parole. He's gonna be on parole. He's gonna be on.
How has that stopped anybody?
He's gonna be on more watch now.
Like if that's the case, what's the situation with R. Kelly?
Everybody already know that though, but they ain't never did. The jury was different, and he had got caught on actual like camera, and there's actual tapes of like stuff with him. But Diddy's stuff was like people consenting, and only thing that they really was trying to get him on was sex trafficking, because it's like you can't be having people traveling from state to state.
But wait a minute, are most those consents of people of age or underage?
That's what they were trying to figure out, but they never got. That's why everybody's so confused.
Like all right, if we're talking about like their consent of age, as much as I don't like to do, you consented it, regardless if you manipulate the situation, whatever. You're still at fault there. However, that doesn't change the fact that he is a foul person, and that, like I said, you can give him parole. That again, knowing what we knowing, there's no guarantee that man's not gonna try to act out.
Might as well put away for a little bit, for a while.
But
right, I was just asking because he asked about Israel, but then I was like, I forgot why we got here, how we got here. Israel Because he be asking some wild stuff, and he asked about a Diddy question that I was like, oh yeah, Diddy, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, well,
I mean, that's just my opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong with everything I said. Like I tell people, because like when it comes to a lot of like political stuff or like celebrity, I don't paint mine to it because I follow the teaching that I learned from Denzel Washington that not news nowadays, who sells it first. Because if you pay attention to the news, you don't know if it's the truth. If you read a newspaper, you don't know if it's the truth because it's what you can sell first at this point. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people are about the truth, and that's why like at a certain point, once I see like certain things a little too much of like very like spiraling and hectic, I'm like, you know what? I don't like Diddy. I didn't like after I saw certain things, I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna pay attention. I already know what this is going. I'm good. Now with the conversation we're having about like the police brutality, I pay attention more to that because like this is something that's been happening for a while, and the fact that like this is still going, and this time it was 4 cops attacking a person that didn't even.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Defend himself, nothing, wasn't even doing anything, and still took the hit and everything, showing like, yo, I mean no harm, and then y'all still continue it. It's just where I'm looking like, what are we doing with that system? Because that's another thing that I have an issue is that we are quick to talk about celebrities like issues or dramas or whatever, and try to fix the situation, but we can't fix our own system when it comes to with cops and everything.
It's the little stuff too. Like that was like a situation that didn't need to even be escalated that far. I'm pretty sure the conversations could have just been had or eventually. Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, you stopped the guy for what? License plate, taillights, or something like that.
Yeah, like that's all. It should have been a ticket, and he didn't have to fucking do all this extra shit. And he said his window was broken, literally said.
But you.
Then he broke his window. Actually, broke his window.
And this is why I look at people at times, like with the system wise.
Wasn't the other window down?
Yeah, like everything. Like if you look at the video, because they just released the video a couple of days ago from what I saw.
Yeah.
None of that was necessary, and even the guy showed like
his hands
that I don't have a weapon, nothing.
Seen that viral video, I believe.
So you essentially attacked an innocent, defenseless man. And I think it's like if he would have hit the cop, they would have charged him.
MZ. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find it. You go ahead and continue. But he would have tried to charge him if he would have swung. But I'm like, bro, y'all just punched him in the face. And when he got out the car, he got punched again. You seen that part?
Mm-hmm. And then they body slammed him.
Yeah. Like for what?
But it's funny because like, my boy Izzy were just talking about police brutality, and it's a deeper conversation about it. Like that's something that we all had to sit down and have a conversation, like kind of like spin off. But like certain things that he said made sense, and it got me thinking. Like, damn, like what if the situation is more like comes to the police system is deeper than what everybody just thinks or whatever. Like, because you gotta think about it. Way before, like, because I pointed out something like, are we talking about like police brutality, like what's going on now, or like something like Compton police brutality, and we're having a conversation about it. But the thing is, when you look at it, police brutality didn't matter. Like when it came to Compton, it was whites, black, Hispanic, everything. Now we go back before that, it was all whites that were attacking colored people, yada yada, blah blah blah, and like we're having like a lot of history conversation because. Especially when it comes to history, I'm a big nerd for the most part, which I gotta read up.
When did you start getting into history and stuff like that?
High school, because I had a teacher that actually made it fun. Like he would literally just act like if he was a person, whatever. And I'm just looking at him like, see, this is how you do storytelling. And he had no like background teaching, nothing. He just was a person that was a kid from a person who was a weatherman, and then decided to just be a teacher.
Right. It'd be like that. Life be life.
Nah,
it's crazy. Life be life. He decided to.
He was an interesting person when it came to history class, and it's just weird because like you're only just being paid to be a teacher. That's it. He took it to a whole new level, and that's why, like, I give it to those teachers that don't look at like, well, it's just a paycheck. I'm just here to teach you. Call a day. Like, that actually goes the extra mile. And I've been fortunate to meet quite a few teachers that done that, but that's not always the case at this point.
So, history was when again though? When did you start liking a lot of getting into history? Saying
high school, so that was because I was a repeater.
Well, not you don't gotta say date. I was just saying, okay, high school, okay.
I think it was like my 10th grade year, but I was like 19 already there, so because I was still struggling when my grandma passed away. So like from 9 to 2012, 2013, I was getting into history a little bit more.
Okay. And what do you think that's one of your favorite hobbies? I mean, like your favorite topics in school, out of school, like in general, was history out of all of them?
Yeah, I was okay with math, but I wasn't like a math nerd. Science, I hated. Like, it was a miracle that I passed any of the levels. English was just like my worst subject. History just, but again, I think it was more, but like it was a more interesting storytelling. Because like English, yes, you read books, but it's just like nothing really caught my attention like that. History was more, and I think that's what was the whole point. That kind of just like became a little bit of the backbone with my writing, because I will write of like past situations that I've been through, essentially, so people don't repeat my mistakes, or if they're going through what I've been through, they're not alone, etc., etc.
Okay. Can I ask you a question about the book again, with the image?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the image for? Like, what is the main message of the image? Would you say?
So this is where I come. Where this is the part where it got me a little bit upset that they messed up the image, and I left it be because I didn't pay again the price for like the way I wanted it. So originally it was supposed to be a bard. Like, we're talking about like.
Yeah, I saw you. You sent that to me. What's a bard?
So, do you know what D&D is? Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. There was so many abbreviations nowadays. Yes. Okay, I do know.
So, those are characters you usually find or a work class. In Dungeons and Dragons, Final Fantasy, stuff that whatever. So essentially, if we want to be more technical, like in history, they were essentially the poets for back in the day, like from William Shakespeare, whatever. You know, they were the poets, so they were making music, poetry, whatever. So essentially, I wanted an image of a gypsy playing a guitar. Essentially, they were the bard. They gave me that instead. And because around that time, I didn't have an artist that would draw me things like it was supposed to, because it's like finding somebody that could draw, like, that is willing to put it out there. Even when I was painting, they were busy, they were off season and whatever, so I worked what I got. And I didn't mind it. I was like, okay, yeah, I can work with this.
I like it. I ain't gonna lie, I like it.
But if I'm gonna choose between that and the original image I wanted, it would be the original image.
Okay. Interesting.
Not only that, I feel like this book was a little bit rushed.
Okay, what do you think? Well, I asked you, low key, what the message was, but what is the message of this poem? We haven't. For some people who haven't read it, who want a little insight.
So, wait a minute, you mean the book?
Or my fault, the book.
So it's essentially pretty much like I said. It's pretty much being a book that gives people a form of an outlet to understand, like, you're not alone. If I had to be a voice for a voice,
but like, could you give them like a page or like you know how like nowadays you get or what's the info of the book? Like, what's the
top of my head? Sheesh, no. Not really, because like I haven't even looked at that book
in a while, because it says like your first. It was like back in the okay.
So it's been a while, but like just the whole premise is like just the title says like. Every piece that I write, it wasn't just about me. It was also about people, what they've been through. Like, I essentially put their piece in there because I'm being their voice that they didn't have the courage to speak about. Like, there's even one about that talks about, like, somebody going through domestic violence. depression, stuff like that. There's been even things about things I've been through and whatever. It's like 21 poems in total that I had there, but I picked specific 21 poems that I would figure would be an impact, and then.
So there's poems in the book.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Like, was there? Okay, I didn't know if the book was poem based, like just all poems.
No, it's all poems.
Okay.
It's literally 21 poems, 51, 52 pages.
Yes.
Because they're long poems.
This was out. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm more informed now. Cause I'm like, it's a book. Is it a book? Like where we're reading a story, but it's a poem story.
Yeah.
21 pages. Okay.
21 poems, but it's like 50-something pages.
Oh, 20. Okay, so say it one more time.
21 poems, but it's like 50-something pages.
Okay. It's not that bad. It's not a bad book. I could read that.
Yeah. That's why with the new one, I don't know how many pages I'm gonna do with this one. I don't know if it's gonna be a bigger book or I'm gonna keep it small like this one, and break it into parts. Okay, we'll see where it goes.
So he's in process of working on another book, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually. It's funny because this project was already something I was already working on about a year ago, but I kind of just put it like on a pause. I was like, you know what? Maybe I want to just focus on writing and kind of like putting myself out there a little bit more before I even touch another book. But as I said, when my friend passed away, I was like, nah, I really got to get back on this book. So like I said, this book will be honoring not only my grandmother, because I will, like every book or anything I do, I will always honor her in it. But this book is mainly honoring Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan, man. Okay, so second book is honoring Dylan. First one was more for grandma.
Yeah. You can check it out. If anything, I'll see if I can find my copy at the house, hand it to you for you to read, whatever. But like, it tells who I honor, who I'm trying to honor, and do whatever. It honors my grandmother. It honors my best friend Angelica, and honors Joseph, who's in charge of, was in charge of that a doorstep, which eventually became Black Noise, which is now a magazine, which you can find it on Amazon or follow them on the page. It's literally called Black Noise, with not an S, with a Z, which I'll send you the link. Okay. Honors Luke, who was my co-writer, like everybody that has helped me or tried to help me with this book.
What was the name you said? What was the last one?
Luke. Luke Beckwith.
I got a Luke in here too. Shout out to Luke. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. We haven't spoke for a bit because we kind of just been doing our own thing, whatever. But he was actually excited and told me one of the very first people was like, "Let me know when you do this so I can have the link and watch you and everything." I was like, "I got you." But we've been best friends for about almost a decade. I think it's been like 9 years already.
Where'd you meet?
FedEx. And the funny part is that the irony about it is, like, I did not want to be friends with nobody when I first started working at FedEx. That was, so my two rules were like, don't fool around with anybody at my job, and don't make any friends. That was my mentality. Broke the second rule.
I mean, it'd be like that. You get bored, bro. It'd be nights.
Well, no, it's because the kid kept being nice to me, and I'm just looking at him like, well, you're not being rude. Why not? I'm just gonna be respectful.
Right.
Like, I will look at the kid half the time like, I don't like you. I don't care who you are. Like, go away. Like,
nah, facts. You're like, I'm here for one thing, bro. I'm here to get my job done.
Nah, but we've been. We had our ups and downs. He's got on my nerves before. Like, he could tell you I probably got on his nerves, especially when it came to the writing, where, like, when he would look at my stuff, it's like, none of this makes sense. Like, I gotta fix all this. So the frustration he had with me, and, like, I give props to him because he's dealt with me for about, in this journey, when we were, like, very close for about 5 or 6 years. For 5 or 6 years, he dealt with me with, like, certain things not making sense, co-writing, editing, and watching me become better with my writing. So, like, honestly...
what was his name? Luke?
Yeah.
Luke. That's dope, though, because, like, I know a lot of people do be able to stick through and help some people edit and go through, like, writing and stuff like that. It's not easy. It's not... somebody asked me to edit something. Boy, you better get out of here with that shit. Cause bro, my handwriting's still terrible to this day. Let alone me trying to spell and correct somebody with like punctuation wise. That used to be the most annoying part for me for writing. Like, bitches, let me write all this shit out straight like this.
Well, so I use a lot of the times where like I'll use like Siri or stuff like that if they can correct things, whatever. They'll take notes like.
That's the best part now. Hey, I got a question about Siri. You think that like the government is technically AI? Like, you know how people always say, you know how people always used to be like, I just saw a video where it's like, he's like, it was back in the 90s, it was like, I don't want the FBI to put a bug in our house. Now people be like, hey Siri, either be like, or they talk to their home system, but their home system they got from where? And all that shit is like, who programmed it?
So most technology at this point, for what I've heard, and I can't confirm or deny, is that they always hear our conversations. Yeah. But the thing is, like, it's kind of hard to believe, but not kind of hard to believe, because we live in a generation where everything's now AI related. You know, but yet again, I treat it like as a myth where people think that pigeons are spies, and I'm just looking at them like, explain that logic. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing. We also, but yet again, like I told you with TikTok, now it's gonna become M2 because it's now government control, like our government, not the Asian government. So it just makes me question, like, yo, how much power do you guys have over technology where we shouldn't even trust you at this point?
A lot, bro. My bad, excuse me. A lot, bro. I'm thinking it's a lot. I'm thinking about it. I've been watching a lot of, like, little videos, but not even videos. I've just been, like, thinking about it in a retrospect when of, like, you ever think about something, right? You be thinking about something, and then you go on your phone, and it's, like...
Nah, no, I'm not going to argue with that, because that's kind of been a thing, because I've been talking about, like, trying to get a new PC system, and that's all pops up now on my Facebook, where I'm just, like...
Yo, I say, guys, like, these niggas are taking the shit right from our brain as we think. Like, we'd be on the phone, like, yeah, bro, I'm trying to get a new PC or something. And next you know, it's like, Instagram, commercial ad version, like, two, like, I see them back to back. I'll be like, I need a microphone. I need some new microphone. I need a new headset. Somehow, I'm starting to see these on my social media, Facebook. Thinking, talk about a female. Somehow she popped up. Oh, God. I was like, hey, yo, nah, I don't like this.
It's funny, because I was actually talking to Kai Izzy about it. I get home in the morning, and that's all I see. It's like, PC. I'm like, I just spoke this about an hour or two ago. Where'd you come from?
Where you coming from, bro? No, like, and it's a good deal. It might be everybody, now everybody's on their PC somehow.
Nah, but,
I believe in that a little bit. But like I was saying, shout out to Luke and all the good friends that stick by and support you, help you out through the tough times for real.
Nah, I mean, that's why, like, right now with the people that I have now that want to be a part of the podcast, like, I'm like, it's very honoring that I have them, because they remind me every day, like, you know, you give people credit, but you don't get enough credit yourself with the fact that. So, like, one thing I always tell people, I don't ever see myself as a leader. I never bothered to claim that title. I always said to people, I'm just the friend that's there for everybody. But a buddy of mine, Alexander, pointed out something where we were talking about, like, his fasting, because he fasts whatever, he doesn't touch into whatever. And so one thing he realized is the fact that I have a very good memory, like, oh, so this and that, this is my health, yada yada, cool. And the minute I see something out of the ordinary, I point out, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that because of this and that, blah blah blah. And so he was shocked that I even remember the fact that, like, hey, he should not be eating while it's fasting time. Mm-hmm. And he's like, look, I just touched something that has good macros, which was like a protein bar or whatever, and I need to eat something before I do my workout, plus I'm starving. Which he explained, like, you're not supposed to, but I don't break fasting as often.
Right.
But he's like, it's amazing that you notice like that. Like, you remember that. It shows character. It shows leadership. And I looked at him, like, it baffled me because I had to ask him, how is that even leadership? It's like, the fact that you put somebody before me and everything.
Before he put his own self first. You put him before he put himself first.
Yeah.
Literally, hey, I'm even thinking for you. You're thinking for somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is, it is a form of leadership. It could be very dangerous, but hey, at least it was on a good tip, not a bad tip. You know what I'm saying?
No, because that's what he says. Like, I care. I look out for my peoples. Everything. Like, I don't do the selfish intent of like, it doesn't benefit me, so why should I even pay attention?
Hey, you showed up today, that's good enough today for me. I was like, if you ain't show up today, you're gonna be a little bit on the down list for me. I'm like, alright, I can't fuck with Icarus no more, man. Icarus is not true to his poetry.
Nah, so like,
no, wait, he's not true to his words. Oh,
so.
But now you showed up, so he is.
And so that's why, like, because I did the same thing with Joseph when he wanted to interview me. Like, I tell him, hey, what's the time limit? Do whatever.
Shout out to Joseph, man.
And I stuck with the deadline. I was helping him with the interviews with Black Noise. Unfortunately, it took a toll on my health, like, trying to keep up and everything, so I needed to get away from that. I am going to eventually hop on, again, helping him out with interview. I got to figure out my routine where it doesn't overstress my body, doesn't mess around my health.
It's like out the way a little bit of your, like,
it's out of my routine, so like I suffer from seizures, so I would the last time I was kind of overdoing it. I had a seizure episode, and I had to get checked, yada yada. And I come to realize like I'm taking on too much. I need to figure out my balance before I hop into anything.
That was at like birth or something like that you realized you had those, or is it like? Wow.
I've always had them. I've always knew it, but like I haven't had them in a while. But because I was overstressing my body because my seizures stress related. That was my body stress call, like, you need to take it easy. So like, it's one of those things where I was just telling people, like, I generally enjoy doing these stuff and everything, but sometimes forget to, like, chill out. Because, like, one thing I learned, and it's funny because I watched somebody that was a singer that explained, like, when you get into the routine where you're doing these hobbies, these ambitions and everything, whatever, sometimes you forget the basic thing of, like, showering, eating, stuff like that, because you're so hyper focused. Hell, even regular writers that do like scripts for like games, whatever. And I met somebody in Connecticut explaining like you need to practice how to focus on your basic needs, also like sleeping, eating, showering. A lot of times people get so caught up with what they need to do that they forget to even just be like, hey, let me get out where I'm at and live in the now right now what the world is. But that's what anything at this point, because I was talking to somebody about the same thing, like how music is a great form of outlet, but sometimes people get so deep into that outlet that they become desensitized of the reality of the world, and then don't
desensitized. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that's what I feel like too. Though, like lately, I've been on that. Like I've been on some like I don't even care about nothing else right now. Like I just want to get to the goal. And I feel like it's okay sometimes to be like that in life. If you take a couple years to do it, sometimes you have to, because this is on, like you say, you only got one life. And especially if you want kids for real, or if you have kids or shit like that, you got to be able to provide for them in the way that you wanted to in the first place. I feel like me, and the way I'm going, if I could get to where I want to provide for my son by just streaming at home, I could be home. I could even be with him in the chat if I wanted to, you feel me?
Yeah, but that takes a bit still, but like you're still in the right direction where like, all right, today I'm gonna do a podcast. You just made the first step that not many people make.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm at that point where it's like you gotta take that step in life. I don't know. I'm like,
because I gotta tell everybody like my job I have now is mainly just to pay bills, and like I work to make I make my cut. Wanted to pay my bills, whatever, and then the rest I just want to focus on my writing and stuff like that. I mean, I'm trying to be a point where as soon as everything gets better, like I get a bigger spot, I want to start doing my own catering business, just like that. I want eventually where like the kitchen's
that shit would be Liddy. I know it would. Liddy catering. Sign me up. I'll be a caterer.
Yeah, Yeah, so it's one of those things where I tell people, like, I don't want to keep working a mundane job. I can't, like...
But I'm only going to be able to work weekends, okay?
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, that's going to be more of the busy time anyway, because, like, I've
worked the kitchen. Hell yeah. On the weekends.
Like, I've seen kitchen business where, like, weekends are the most
great
busy.
Tips, right? Probably.
And I'm just looking at people like, yo. And keep in mind, when I first started the kitchen, I was a dishwasher, but I saw, like, from behind the scene, like, how busy weekends get. I'm just like, no wonder you guys want me to work 6 days a week.
That weekend be tough. I ain't know that really about, like, I ain't think about it like that in businesses majority of the time. That Saturday really be rough. Like, you see it in every single body come. Sometimes you see the same people every week.
Well, no, that was a point. They made me work 13 days straight because the people that would come for the Saturday didn't pop up, and I'm just like, bro, I'm good. I need sleep.
13 days straight is crazy.
What saved me was that when I did it, it was around spring vacation for college people. And I was with this mindset, hey, I got about a week off. Yeah, I get to do... Bro, I did not... All I did was stay in my room because my brain was that mush. Because I didn't get no proper sleep, nothing. And, like, that's when I started to realize, like, nah, bro, like, brain mush is a thing. Exhaustion is a thing. Overworking yourself and overexhausting yourself is a thing. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm not doing this.
Being real. I'm not even gonna lie. Being real. Overworking yourself is a real thing. People... But, like, you ever... I recently saw a podcast where it was about college dropouts versus, like, people who've been in school and stuff like that and, like, getting their degree. And it's, like, people that dropped out and started doing, like, streaming and got millions of dollars now. Like, and they're, like, still, like, in their 20s and 24s. They're talking to the people, like, man, but you could have been doing all the same stuff on your own. You didn't have to go to... They're saying pretty much that you don't have to go to college for some of the things that...
No, because it's the same thing. Like, if I want to do creative writing, I don't have to go.
That's why I was like, bro, look, you have a book. And, like, not everybody has a book out. Some people went to college for publishing and still didn't even have their book out the way they wanted to.
So, and that's my thing. Like, the thing with podcasting, like, if I do go back to school, I said, like, I want to do people relation, which involves with podcasting. But it's because, like, I said to people, if I can make this goal a reality, but time will tell, like, in the financial aspect and everything, whatever. And once I get certain things situated. And that's if I do want to go back to school. But if I said it, if I do go back to school, my goal is that I get people relations.
1 second. Let me just give a shout out. I'll hear you. Shout out to Jada Goddess. Appreciate you. It's chat jumping today. I ain't gonna lie.
That's cool. So, like, if I go back to college for people relationship, it's because I want to get, like, for podcasts. And it's not because I want to do my own podcast and have a degree for it. It's the fact that that's just something I can have in the back, and like people that from out there know my podcast, see what I've done, whatever, and it puts me in a spot where like I go to actual bigger podcasts and interview different people because like I've seen a lot of people that do like these funny videos, whatever, yada yada, and are influencers where like they speak about God or try to like mental health, whatever. And down the line, they're getting interviews from like bigger podcasts and stuff like that. Like that's where I want to be at a point where it's like, bro, I want to. Like essentially collab with other podcasters because, and maybe this is not even me. Personally, I don't care. I don't think that anybody should be like try to be better than everybody. You should be more better for yourself. But at the same time, like if you can collaborate with people, like help them out, give them a push, whatever, then you're doing something good. And like
give them a platform, give them something that help them too, just as much as you got into that same position.
Yeah, because like and. Like, especially us men that are doing podcasts and everything, whatever. Like, it's bad enough we live in a world where we gotta battle it out to get what we have to get. Why are we trying to bring somebody there? Not only they're the same gender as us, have the same goal as us, whatever. And instead of giving them a push, we're just gonna put them down. What do you gain out of that?
That's all. You don't gain anything out of that. Honestly, you don't. And you don't gain anything out of it, which would be crazy because if you did put somebody else on. You're low-key gaining more out of it because that person will most likely be thankful and want to give back to you. Or at least, if not do that, give back to the people that they can to make them much better. And it shouldn't be a comp. It shouldn't be everybody can eat.
So
there's enough money in this world for everybody to eat.
I think it's more giving out to the community in general for that community. But at the same time, like, if they show gratitude, that's a plus.
I think gratitude would be, like, shown if, like, especially if learned, like not saying, like, it has to be. But, like, more so, like, definitely they would find a way to, like, for instance, like, Kai and Rakai. Like, he's feeding Kai without without like having to do much. He's just being in his stream. And where Kai's getting viewers, and now Kai's getting, you know what I'm saying, like the, you know, vice versa. You know what I'm saying, helping out just by, you know, I was saying the word I use as networking. Like nowadays, at least when you're talking about business aspect, or at least partnering with people, that's called networking, because genuinely, like, you start working together, you're bringing people who are interested in poetry into a space that I haven't had people interested in. Well, actually, it's crazy enough. Somebody, my boy said, he said, I love poetry. He's in here and he was snapping. He said like this.
I mean, you send him the link, and like, if he writes himself, you'll let me know.
I'm definitely gonna hook y'all together. John, shout out to John in the chat. I appreciate you.
Because like, that's another thing that's why I want to also do my podcast, because I also want to create a part of the podcast where it's a section where, because originally the podcast was to be called
Zero's about to tune in right now. Zero, you know Zero.
Zero.
You know, don't say names. You know the name, but you know where I'm saying from. Zero.
Yeah, I got you. But to, like I was saying to the conversation,
you were gonna have a section on the podcast
so like originally the title for the podcast was supposed to be Tea and Poetry. That was the title originally. How when you go to TikTok, it's called Tea and Poetry.
Tea and Poetry.
But it dawned upon me where I was like, this does not sound like a damn title. This sounds like, okay, we're going to enter a podcast. Here's a section where we're going to touch the podcast with that. And so I had to go back to the drawing board, whatever. And so a while back, like I told you, we spoke about it, like how I was mentioning the podcast. It's funny how me and you were talking about it. I was talking to other people. And it's funny enough that everybody I mentioned, nobody was hopping on the idea of the podcast. They were just being supportive. Mm-hmm. Or like supportive, except for 4 people. It's originally, there's 5 people in total that are going to be part of the podcast with me, but only one of them, I invite them, but 4 people volunteer. My bad. 2 I chose to bring in, and then 3 of them chose to volunteer. So there's Jay, there's Izzy, and there's Kai. Those are the ones that wanted to hop on the podcast. Keep in mind, like, I haven't even started the podcast yet. There's like, when you start, let me get on it, whatever.
Anime shit.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was talking to them. But, like, you know, we could start touching stuff like that, everything, whatever. Then my buddy Christian, the only reason I want to get him on is because he's at a point where he's building confidence. He likes to talk to people. Like, he's very social. Like, he went working from a warehouse job to working Planet Fitness because he likes to talk to people. It's like, well, I need that type of energy where, like, conversation, whatever. Why not add him to it? And then my buddy Preston, the reason I want to put him, because like the times me and him had conversation, it's always been serious conversation, but he knows how to turn to serious conversation to then to a funny moment afterwards. And I'm just like, I need that energy. Not only that, he's more logical with certain things. Like if you want to go to the perspective where we talk about like what if this and that, he thinks that are more logical situations. And that's why I was looking at people like, okay, well I need people that understand like, as optimistic certain things people are with certain things, you also have to put logic and everything. Very smart doing everything. I just kind of wish he saw that more in him, because the one thing that I still work with him is the whole confidence in whatever, like, or like be proud that like, hey, I did an act of kindness, and like to him it's like, you know, I'm just being kind, whatever, yada. Like he just like treats it like it's below him. And it's like, no, dude, half of the things you do should be acknowledged, because like you didn't have to go out where you live to bringing me a home, or you know, making sure I'm good, or like when I'm tight financially to help me out, whatever, yada yada. Like that is not your responsibility. And the fact that you do that at the kindness, I'm sorry, I had to acknowledge that. And that's because of my grandmother's teaching. When it's like, always honor the people that help you.
That's what I was trying to say. That's kind of how I was like, if somebody's like if they definitely like gave you something, like you should be able to be like, all right, well, here's something back in return. You know, I'm grateful. If I don't, I understand. You know, I taught you that, and that's a lesson learned now too. Like, but like, hopefully you learned your, you know.
Yeah.
But what was the last person's name you were about to say?
No, Preston was the last one that I mentioned.
And you said Kai too, right?
So, but that's what I'm saying. The people that wanted to hop on it, like when I was talking about it, was Kai, Izzy, and Jay.
Shout out to Kai Brizo, man. He's been on the chat. He's been here before. He's been here on this couch, same couch, playing.
Like Tekken. Kai from.
Yes.
Oh shit! Okay.
Kai Brizo.
No. Kari.
Afro.
Yeah, mushroom top, like I call him, because his froze are like a mushroom.
Afro though, right? Mushroom top. Shout out to Hakari as well. He's been on this not on the stream here. I thought you were talking about
no.
I thought you were talking about, you know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah, no, but no, it's Kahari and Izzy. Like Izzy, the dreads.
Dreads. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Izzy too. That's my son. Literally, I'm not.
He's in Jamaica right now.
What?
So that's another thing. The thing
that's my son. We in the chat right now. He got a chat with me right now because we all supposed to be balling and stuff.
So the thing that I love about Izzy is that he's logical, but he cares about people. But like that's why when he did with the like, he was telling about the vacation. Like we were supposed to get all together like at the we're done with our work and everything for our busy season. But he had a vacation coming up to Jamaica. I looked at him like, take your time. And I told him straight forward, enjoy your vacation. I don't want to hear about, oh, how's this and that. This is your, because the thing about Izzy, and that's what I love about him, he reminds me about like how I used to be, and I started to learn how to work, is that he sometimes puts others before anybody. And I remind him, like, just the same way how you put everybody else first, put yourself first. Like, this vacation, make it about you. Like, just enjoy it. Jay Flores is from, used to be working another
I get what you're saying.
Another section, and then he went to my section. Now he left and he's doing something else. He's a singer also. But he was one of the people that wanted to get on it left and right and like wanted to touch about anime, this and that. Had created perspective, whatever. Me and him had a few conversations left and right about like things that go on in the world, like how you feel about this, whatever. Like one of the topics he was talking about was
so
like,
this podcast would be mainly about. This podcast would it be about poetry or would it mainly just be about in general everything?
So it's gonna be more poetry and like mental health based, but more for male. However, I keep an open mind where it goes because it's the whole thing about talking conversations, even touchy conversations. One of the conversations that everybody keeps trying to have with me, it's about like, how do you feel about the transgender community for like when they get into sports, the bathroom, stuff like that.
Facts, that shit is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, personally.
Well, so the thing is like I'm not biased about things. I think of it in a logic where I try to find a middle ground and everything. But again, just because I view that way doesn't mean that I know everybody thinks the same way. But that being said, if you have a different opinion, that is your opinion. I'm not gonna argue with it, whatever. However, it's like I tell people all the time. Though it's your opinion, you're a strong opinion. What are your facts and what is your views on certain things? Like we just talked about like the whole Diddy situation. You understood my view, my point of view, whatever. You had your point of view and how you felt with certain things. I didn't turn it into an argument because I looked at everybody like, okay, it's his opinion, it's conversation. And that's why like when with this podcast I chose these individuals. But going back to that is that when I went back to the drawing board to switch the title, them constantly like talking about the podcast, how what's gonna happen, yada yada. I ended up going to therapy one day, and oddly enough, nothing bad to talk about in therapy. I was talking about all the good things been going on, yada yada, and so I made the statement. It's like I have my own village. Shout out to my therapist that in that conversation made me realize what's the title is going to be for the podcast, and literally the podcast name is The Village.
Shout out to Village Pizza. Sorry, I fuck with Village. I like that. Okay, so the name, the whole podcast name will be Village.
The Village. Literally, it's The Village. And we all agree with it. We stood with it. And we left it as that, and that's how we're gonna do it. But that's why I said like when Izzy comes back from vacation, we're all gonna get together and start brainstorming, figure out how we're gonna do this because, like I said to people, it is my podcast. I'm gonna put it out there. It is my podcast. However, if you're part of the team also, that is your podcast too. And that's another thing that I want to start doing is that each one have their own talent. So like Kai writes poetry. I'm mentoring him with the poetry. Izzy does music. Same thing with Jay. He's a singer. And then I have my boy Christian who sings but doesn't really touch it because he feels like, hey, I'm not going to go anywhere with that. If at any point I inspire them to start doing their ambitions, whatever, I want them to use this platform to promote themselves also. That's what I tell people, like, anybody that I bring over, it's not just to get you known, but also use this platform to promote yourself. I am handing you, essentially, an opportunity and go from there. And it's the same opportunity that Black Noise gave me where before it became Black Noise, I started doing Dead Doorstep, publishing my poems and whatever. And when they went to Black Noise, I was their first feature for the magazine for the poetry section. He presented an opportunity for free. And it's one of those things, I'm going to give you a push, you work with that. And so that's what I want to... essentially, I'm also returning the favor to Joseph with my own former platform.
Right. I just want to check what time we at. We at an hour and 20 minutes. Okay.
I haven't gotten anything yet.
Would you want to do your poetry now? Would you want to spit some of them, or?
No, I can read one. Okay. I got to put two aside, so I'll read the first one. So, the first one's called "The Vessel with an Iron Quill." So I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna explain a little bit more for it afterwards.
Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. I'll stay.
Almighty iron quill of mines, drenched in blood of a dying star's heart, of which was forgotten throughout ages. You speak for those who long to be heard, to utter their ghostly echoes that hid in the canyon's depths. To grasp you is both a blessing and baneful, filling my being with ink, allowing me to be a conduit for the broken and the damned. Yet tell me, noble sage of mine, when my empire erodes and crumbles to dust with all my memories, who am I when I'm stripped from the burdens I bore since her passing? I've etched myself onto parchment, a liberation of truth to those who hid all their anguish in the troubling shadows. Should all my tapestry that speak of many torments that unravel a path of liberation meet its end? And if my hand releases all, causing me to abandon you, to answer me this: what shall become of my symphonies that echoes my past sorrow? Will it live on, or would it cease to ever play again? If in the next morn I search for leads to my demise, will my difference I've made cling unto the souls I've touched and continue to lift them with my words? Or is it all I've done cling onto the wind and drift away like a forgotten whisper? If death greets me with open arms before I sing all my hymns and lullabies, should I cast myself into its embrace? Will my words be written in the stars and travel through constellations? Or will my words be muzzled from the world's ear? Will all my troubles be absolved from my soul, or will they haunt me for eternity? These queries I lay before you, and the world my beloved confide in. For my heart is worn and tethered by corridors of despair, filled with the wails of my own demons, beseeching liberation from the shackles of my own making.
You gotta explain because that was long.
So this was actually, like I was speaking to you earlier, and I didn't really explain in the beginning. Sometime this year, about a couple of months ago, I was ready to just finally, like, stop writing. Like I literally felt like this was the time to just let me put the pen down and move on. There was a song called "Damocles" by Sleep Token. That so happens that the topic I talked about, he was talking about it because he's at a point where he's famous, he's known, he beat like a lot of famous artists where he was like, he's a metal band that like went to the top chart and kicked out even Selena Gomez and everything from being top chart, whatever. But like anything in life, when you hit the top of the mountain, like you're at the peak, you start questioning, am I doing enough? Am I making a difference? Whatever. Because like I said, it starts with a hobby, it starts with a passion, and then it starts taking a toll. And so my toll was taking in, like, am I doing enough, or I'm just doing it for the fucks of it? So when I heard the song, it just spoke to me. Like something was telling me, like, you need to write about this topic. You need to write about this topic. You just have to find it. And so like that's why, like, one of the things that I wrote in the beginning, it says that talks about like my pen. It says, To grasp is both a blessing and baneful, meaning like it's a gift and a curse. Filling my being with ink allowed me to be a conduit for the broken and the damned, and essentially meaning like I said to Tyler before, being a voice for the voiceless. Like I'm writing to be a voice for people. A matter of fact, like I said, when it came to my grandmother, like it was through her passing that I essentially was given the gift of being expressive, and that's why, like in one of my in the interview I had with Black Noise, when you look at like the article where I got not interviewed but essentially featured, there's a line that says, "It's like out of the ashes I pulled an iron pen," and it just means like out of her death a gift was born, meaning I became a writer. So like that's why I always honor her for the fact, like as bittersweet as it is, if it wasn't for her passing away, I wouldn't be this expressive.
That's deep. That's deep.
So.
Shit. So that was in that part of the poem, though. You're saying, that was. Are you saying that was inspired?
So no, it's like, well, this was inspired from the song.
The song.
But that explains more like why I haven't stopped writing, because like I said, me writing this eventually kind of opened my eyes. Like, these are the topics you are supposed to be writing off. Like, I think part of me does not want to let go, and I still don't want to let go, because I said, if I let go, I lose that connection to her. Because like I said, when she passed, it's when I started being a writer. The minute I let that go is the minute I'd be like, okay, well, I forgot about you. So that's one poem. The other one is actually about her. Essentially, writing my own memoir about like the memories I had with her. There was a conversation I was having with somebody, because I saw on TikTok, where somebody talks about we're quick to remember like the days or the person was born, the day they passed, but never the meaning, what the dash means in between those dates. And long story short, the dash means the time they lived. So I've written a lot of pieces about my grandmother, like when I grieved about her and everything, whatever, yada yada. But it's always sad moments, like when she passed, when I buried her, when like I had to carry her casket to her tombstone. Mm-hmm. But never about like the little memories I had for her. So it's called Her Life Between the Dash Line. July 10th, 1943 to April 29, 2009, 11:30 p.m. These days scorch my essence, thundering through my being like a relentless storm. Yet the dash in between remains obscured, a phantom in my mind, hidden in the fog of longing. And still, grief, the rootless being, devours the radiant melodies of our yesterday. Lost in the radiant sunlit afternoon, where we sat upon the porch while the canopy of neighbors clashed like distant war drums, as we feast on grapefruits, savoring its flavor beneath the heavens, as it slowly dawned in obsidian armor. These were the days. There were days when smoke curled like a dragon's breath, and with your mischievous eyes summoned laughter from the depths of my innocence. Among the tapestries of time we wove, the hollow midnight rites of indulgence, where elixirs of coconut and salted offering, under the solemn vigil of silent constellation, as the world surrenders to tranquil oblivion. My rebellion sang softly in the silence. Yet in the green world of mine, the days beyond the dash strikes with merciless claws, ripping mercilessly at my heart core, a burden heavier than the yoke of mythic titans, forcing my quill to bleed despair's darkness ink. In such a wish, my dream vanished all like Afro twilight. Every piece of life intricates tapestry dissolving like morning dew, casting me as the villain amidst of their accusing stares. Even with such desire, the futile wish would render all my glimmering joys. Every fragment woven into tapestry of life would vanish like morning mist, painting me as the villain in their eyes. Thus, let me cradle the sacred fabric of shared dreams. Let me thread the realm of slumber, rekindling your cherished rituals and flourishing joys before your departure. It is in your absence I became the keeper of this flame, a storyteller breathing life into your memory, only to bring grace to your name.
Okay, I decided to start writing. I got a couple questions now. All right. Last time I didn't write it down. What was it? So, the part where it was something about burden, heavy, hard, around there about that part. I wanted to clear up that. And then there was also the word tapestry. I've noticed you use that word a lot. I want to know what that means fully.
Burden. Hold up, because I have to go from the beginning.
Something. It was burden.
A burden heavier than the yoke of the Titans.
There you go. What was the heavy burden you were talking about there?
So it's just the fact that. So, like I said before, with life, you realize it's a gift. But with that gift, understand the same way how you were born, you are also given a time limit to carry that gift.
Which is heavy. It is heavy.
What people don't realize is that when you pass away, your loved ones carry that burden of every memory. And so, keep in mind, when I grew up, the only person I have as a friend, family member to care for me was my grandmother. So, because I was the only person I knew, I had to carry that burden every day of like reliving that memory.
Why was she like your best friend and not your mom and dad and them?
My father was an alcoholic, unfortunately.
Okay.
And my mother, unfortunately, and this is just a simpler term because it's just a detail I don't really like to get into, but she was a woman over a mother. Simple as that. Like, she existed, we were under her custody, but she was a woman over a mother.
Over her custody, okay. To answer my question right before I asked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was with your mom more so.
Yeah, so my upbringing, all I knew was my grandmother.
And they always go to grandma's house.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can see how that makes sense now with the burden. I was just wondering because I heard it in there, but I'm new to this poetry. You know me, I'm new.
No, trust me, and I don't mind teaching people. Like, that's the whole point that I so what people don't realize, I write purposely because I want people to ask questions, understand what they feel when they read this, whatever. Because, like I said, all I ever know with my grandmother was conversations.
Yeah.
This creates conversation with people where I take the time to conversate people and like not only essentially understand their mindset and they understand my mindset, but also give them the courage of like, hey, I don't know this, I don't know how to do this or any of this. Can I talk to you about it?
Yeah. I'll be sitting here. I was listening to you. I was like, man, I wish I could be on the same page. Tapestry.
So tapestry is it's essentially a form of art. So you have painters that paint on canvases and stuff like that. Tapestries most of the times are from cloth. Like, people grab like blankets, whatever, and create like these like tapestry art. So like, look up tapestry blankets and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll look it up for you.
Josh said fire. Josh said fire.
Thank you.
I be having a hard time sometimes going back and forth because like my phone will lock.
So like these are tapestry blankets. So essentially, it's like you frame an image.
Sir, can you read that line again? You did two of them. There was 2 lines. Actually, I think there was 3 lines where you used tapestry.
Yeah, I use the word a lot. Trust me.
I see. I noticed. I had bro. I heard. So I was like, I didn't even spell it right. I know it, but I was just like
Amongst the tapestry of time we wove. So that's one.
So So explain that then to me, because I was listening to it. Was like, so you're saying you put an image above your wall, pretty much in your mind, or like
in my mind. So like, essentially,
okay.
So. Okay. Just like I explained the tapestry blanket, essentially that image in my mind relives over and over. So like, I'll explain the first stanza that talks about like one of the moments that's very core memory of. It's like, it says, lost in the rainy sunlit afternoon, where we sat upon the porch while the canopy of neighbors clashed like distant war drums, as we feast on grapefruits, savoring its flavor beneath the heavens, as slowly dawn into obsidian armor. So that's the time when me and my grandma used to sit in the porch, eat grapefruits together. Like that was just like our little tributes we used to do when I was living with her, especially on the weekends when like I would come from.
That's crazy as fuck. Hold on, time out. Chat, I'm not even joking. I had, that's fucking wild.
You just gave me a grapefruit one.
Yo, that's wild as fuck. I had 2 grapefruit. I was like, and I wanted you to pick a grapefruit one, so I was like, please don't pick the watermelon one. I like the watermelon one. Hey, that's tough as fuck. Alright, continue on my fault.
So, and where I used to live at in Springfield, a lot of people would just get loud and ghetto, whatever, but we didn't care. We just sat there, we'd watch the sun. Keep in mind, it's not like we have a feel or anything, like it's the ghetto, but we would sit there until like it would get dark, just to like enjoy the grapefruit and each other's company. The other one is unhealthier than it was for kids, but my grandmother still did it just to make me laugh, and I'll explain it after this. There were days when smoke curled like a dragon's breath, and with your mischievous eyes summoned laughter from the depths of my innocence.
She's smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. I had to wait till you reread it. Because when you first said it, I was like, why are you talking about her breath like that? And I was like, now it makes sense. Cigarette. Oh.
So here's the thing. She always knew I was a big nerd for dragons. So little trick my grandmother used to do was she would smoke and would blow like smoke out of her nose like she was a damn dragon. She would do it on purposely because she knew I was a big fan of dragons. Whenever she would watch like these cartoons I would watch with dragon, and so she would do it just like to make me
dragon
laugh.
Dragon
So stuff like that. And so again, she would just do it out of the pure thing of like just to see me laugh and see me happy. Mm-hmm. Now the last one.
That was dope.
The last one says among the tapestry of time we wove, which is the one secret thing I always enjoy. The hollow midnight rites of indulgence, where elixir of coconut and salted offering, under the solemn vigil of silent constellations, and the world surrenders to tranquil oblivion, my rebellion sang softly in silence.
You drink coconut milk?
It was coconut soda, and we would have a chip called Munchos, which is like very salty, whatever.
The chips?
Yeah.
Munchos. Okay, yeah. I like Munchos.
So that's one thing you'll notice. Like if you ever see me in the corner, like we're hanging out, you see me in the corner just drinking coconut soda and eating Munchos, that lets you know I'm homesick.
Soda. What kind of coconut soda? I never had coconut soda.
So you never had Coco Rico or Coco?
Hell no.
Ah, see, you're missing out.
I've had what's this shit?
It's pretty much. So think about it. A soda, it's like coconut water turn into soda is a little bit sweeter.
I forgot which one I had. What's it? Inca Cola.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But the champagne one.
Oh, the Galachapan.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, I had that, but nothing else after that.
We have that too, but our thing was more the coconut soda. But the thing is, like,
soda, yeah, okay.
We would drink that and eat those chips like in late at night when my grandfather's rule, like, hey, when bedtime is bedtime, and that's it. She would make the exception where she would have her little late night snacks, and she would know I'm awake, waiting for her to give me the okay to just snuck in while my grandfather's sleeping to sit in the kitchen and eat it. And the thing is, my grandfather knew, like, he wasn't stupid. He knew we were doing that, but he just left it alone. And so that's why I said, like, I was very close to her. That she, if anybody was a major impact in my life, and I would put them on a pedestal, it would be my grandmother.
That's good. That's really good. That means your grandma started the way to be a good woman. That your mom let that continue through her, at least, whatever, and your mind, based off what you said about your mom. Next question: who painted you as the villain, or the villain part? There was a villain part in there.
So, it's not that anybody painted me.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've heard this in your writing before when you sent it to me. I've heard that before. So
in this situation, it's not that anybody would paint me as the villain. it's more of like if I was so it started with a question that somebody asked me that it just baffled me because no matter how many times they would ask me that question, my answer remained the same. And the question everybody asked me, if you were given a chance to bring your grandmother back, would you? And I tell them no. As much as I love her, and Jesus, it still hurts even thinking about it. Bring her back would not bring her any honor because it just means her death was in vain. It's a bittersweet situation where it took her death for me to be a writer. And like I tell people all the time, it hurts. It hurts every day. It still hurts every day. The fact that she's not here in person to see my growth and where I come from. Mm-hmm. But if it wasn't for her to pass away, I would not be the person who I am today. And that's why, till this day, I will always honor her and everything.
No, that's good. At least you're
so, like, that's why I tell in this piece, like, essentially explaining, like, even if I was given the chance to bring her back, it would just mean that everything that I've done would just vanish just to give that piece of heaven.
What happens if it didn't have to vanish, though? What happens if, like, you could somehow make it still happen without the pain version of it?
So,
like, you don't think you could?
So it's
like that would hold on, wait. That could low key go with this question that I thought I didn't need, which was, could you live without poetry?
Woo! Woo!
Hold on, I gotta give myself some pride on the back because I'm transitioning in this bitch. I said, hold on. I had a question that I thought I was gonna just get rid of. So since you said that, it made me go back to that question that I wrote down.
So this is the part where I was telling you, like, there was a point where I finally could just put the pen down. Like I said, that's why the poem, The Vessel of the Iron Quill, was a thought. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like I said, I still think that the minute I do that is the day I decide to forget her. And maybe that's a little bit selfish, maybe that's a little too cynical, however you want to put it. But that's the only connection I have with her. One thing that people don't know is that when I buried my grandmother, because I was one of the people that carried her casket, nobody put a tombstone for her. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to do is get my life together, have money aside. And I personally want to pay for her tombstone.
That would be dope as hell.
Because, like, me trying to search where she's at is a pain because she doesn't have a tombstone. And so this is the only connection I have to conversate with her. For her to see what's going on. Essentially, poetry is not only just a conversation I'm having with the audiences that read it, but it's also a conversation with my grandmother where I'm expressing to her, like, this is what I feel today. This is what I witnessed today from somebody's story and everything, whatever. Because the one thing that never changed with her was always constant conversations. Like, she was a lady that you knew in the ghetto.
Your best friend, like you're saying.
You know, but not only that, she was also known in the community where, like, even the most, like, unsanitary person that was a bum that was doing drugs with her, she still gave to the community the best she can, whatever. Which taught me how to be very humble. The fact that, like, you don't know anybody's story, so don't sit here and judge. Like, there's been times where people look at me because, like, me, especially when I go to Moe's, I order, like, 2 meals, whatever. Sometimes I'll order, like, numerous amount of food, and that's just me because I like to eat. But I'll see somebody in the corner where they don't have food, they have nothing. I'm just like, I have more than enough, let me give them that. And it's just like, people look at me like, why? They didn't pay for it. It's like, I'm going to eat it and it's going to come out the other end. The same way how I was born. I was born to live a life, whatever, and eventually eat. And then when my time's up, it's up. I'm not going to be able to enjoy that food. So what does it matter what I do with that food? Mm-hmm. As long as it doesn't go to waste. Some people look at me weird with that. And I just look at them like, that's my grandma's teaching. And that's why I say, like, every little thing I do, it's in honoring her.
Okay.
But to answer the question of poetry, yeah. I don't think there's a world where I could just finally let go of poetry. So, like, to answer your question, I don't think there's ever be a world where, like, I live without poetry.
So
like,
then, I mean, you could live with your grandmother back in your life, because then you would be able to do poetry with her.
Well, so this is why I was trying to explain to you earlier. Like, it's the same concept of time travel. If you switch something, there's a cause and effect, and events change. And
but I'm saying if she would come back, right, it would be a little bit later time that she would pass away. But I don't think it would change dramatically because you still wanted to do what you wanted to do, but she would have gave you a little bit more. I think push to probably even get it done now.
Maybe so, but like I still believe in the theory where like everything happens for a reason. If you change that reason,
that's zero.
There's a different result.
Zero feels the same way. Zero be like, nah, I'm here. He said I'm not. I'm not. He said I love poetry myself. John said it again. But Zero said you're not here for. I'm here for a fun time, not a long time, or something like that. Because you kind of not here for a long time. Even 100 years is low key not long. Trees live longer than us.
So, and that's the thing that we say 100 years, and then when you look at like there's actually a video Eddie Murphy said is that averagely you live up to 75 years. That's 75 winter, 75 summer, 75 spring. You know, like that's 75 years in each season. And when you look at it, that's not a lot of time. Because, hell, let's turn time to currency. What can you get for 75 cents?
Wait, what? What can I get for 75 cents right now? Right now?
Yeah, like, think about it. If you turn time into currency, what can you get for 75 cents?
Right now, nothing.
Okay, what can you get for $75?
A lot. Okay.
You can barely even get grocery with that.
Nah, you gotta learn how to finesse.
But that's my whole point.
I went on a date with $5 one time.
But that's my whole point.
Nah,
you have to find a way to make it work. You cannot just do it straightforward. It's the same thing with time. You cannot guarantee you're gonna live 75 years. Mm-hmm. You can't even guarantee you're gonna live 75 days. You can only guarantee any of those. Yeah, but that's my whole point. You're only gifted today. You are guaranteed to make the best out of it that you can at that moment. And then tomorrow's a gift. And yesterday's over with. You're not even guaranteed to go back to fix it. But this is why in conversation I tell people keep an open mind and switch perspective on a lot of things.
So, I got a question that goes back to health. Did you think when your grandma passed, was it when your grandma passed that you afterwards that you had a heart attack, or before that?
No, I had a heart attack after she passed. So she passed when I was 15, going on to 16. At August 1st, 2009, I started my writing, but even when writing, that wasn't doing me much. Like I was spiraling and everything, and that's why, like, even then, doctors telling me like, you gotta take care of yourself. You're going through too much stress. You're not sleeping enough. Yada yada.
Do you think eating was also a part of that? Or no?
It was a lot of things too. It was a lot of things.
I'm about to say most of the time, stress, yes, like running your mind, like yes, but also the one thing that is proven is like
the damage was not being heavily done until I was 23, and when I got my first warning of it, like physically, I didn't listen. And then when I got the second warning when I was like 25, I didn't listen to it. My final warning was literally.
You ever smoke cigarettes and stuff like that? After she passed? No.
No. I was more drinking, if anything.
So yeah, and then that beers.
No. Hard liquor.
That's even that. That's hard. That's hard. What was your thing? What was your drink of choice?
Anything vodka related, and then I started switching to rum.
I love rum. Rum was one of my first.
Nah,
rum was one of my. I don't love it, but I just love how it made me feel at the moment in time. Like I was so.
So I'm now at this point a whiskey drinker, but like I drink it very lightly and very like, not so open. Like it has to be a special occasion. It has to be a special occasion. Like I cannot just be here like, oh well, today I'm just gonna drink whiskey for the hell of it. Why are you trying to burn your chest with it?
He said barely. He said, okay, Chad said you could barely get anything with 75 cents. You could get a piece of candy back in the day.
Not even.
In my age. Like, no, for real, back in the day with 75 cents, you could do a lot, bro.
Yeah, like 5 cents got you like 3 pieces of candy. Imagine when you got 75 cents.
Nah.
A whole dollar got you a whole bag of candy.
This store right here, mobile gas station, 2 mini Snickers, the fun size, 2 ones, 50 cents. Each of them, that makes $1. That's not even a full size fucking Snicker bar, bitch, and it costs $1. It's not even a full one. It's not. It's 2 mini ones.
So like Munchos, it used to be like $1. Then they raised it to $2.69. When you go to certain gas stations,
started with chips.
When you go to certain gas station, they want to charge you $3.69. What is no?
Honestly, I felt like I think they thought the prices would stop people from buying so many snacks, but that didn't really stop them. Because honestly, America has been like one of the most unhealthiest places of food.
We are
that's
not.
Due to the watch today's later podcast, bro. I'm telling you, you need to pull up to tomorrow. A bit later about it. Maybe right after you get out. This podcast I'm gonna drop about freaking the way the government and puts all this, blue dye, blue all this other
Red 40, all that stuff.
It's terrible, bro. It's terrible. It's causing.
It's like causing right now. So like
it's causing a lot. Yes.
So like
I'm not saying I'm great with it either. Trust me. I've had McDonald's.
So like this is, but that's what I'm saying. Like this is like one of my few like caffeine and drinks that I drink, and like now at this point that I drink energy drinks, I drink it with 0 sugars. I'm slowly trying to switch to black tea, which is a healthier caffeine. And so, like, a lot of people...
Tea at all.
Well,
Tea, ew.
No, so when I drink black tea, here's the thing. I don't drink it by itself. I drink it with, like, fruit. So, like, my things, I love papayas. I love pineapples, passion fruit.
I love papaya.
So, like, and that's why I tell people, like, a lot of people that drink black tea, we gotta drink tea. No, you don't. You just make your tea, like, the brew, and then what you do is you blend your fruits, like, make it into a juice or whatever you can. And just pour it back in. You don't taste the black tea. But a lot of people, the minute they hear something of healthy, like, I'm like, okay, you don't have to eat it or drink it by itself. Just mix it with something. Like, God, I will never drink black tea by itself. It's like me trying to drink black coffee by itself. And my father and my grandmother were a pro at that. I just looked at them like, y'all have no soul for that. Like, I'm good. Like, till this day, I still try to drink black coffee by itself. I'm like, nope, I'm not brave enough for this.
No, I'm not. I can't even. I don't do coffee at all. I can't deal with the taste of the bean.
Well, I don't
like the smell.
So that's the funny part. Like, I have a whole like coffee beans at the place. Ask me how many times I've touched that coffee.
How many times?
Literally, the last time I touched it was like 8 months ago. And it's because I kind of just been leaning off from a lot of caffeine and stuff. Like I said, if it's not tea, I don't want it. I only touch energy drinks that are 0 sugar because like the sugar gives me crash. And it's because I work a night shift. That's it. Like there's nothing that in within my premises like, hey, I can have black tea with fruits. Like so I had to buy something as a substitute. But at home, I don't even touch my energy drinks. Like I only touch it when I'm going to work. That's it. At home, it's like no caffeine, enough.
No, it has to though, because when you're at work all the time, like those do make you want to drink. You know what I'm saying? Energy drink. So, can you go to your YouTube and go ahead and like the video at least? I don't know if you did already, but
no, I gotta get on it. Give me a second.
In China, this is how.
Jesus
Christ. Jesus Christ. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, please. If you haven't done that, but I think you did last time.
No, I subscribed you because like I was looking at your actually Instagram and I didn't know you had a YouTube. I was like, hold up, he has a YouTube? Hold on, let me follow this man.
Yeah. But if you haven't, just go ahead and do so.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm trying to get to 3. Once we get to 500, right now we're getting like new perks. Like we can go in the chat and like be number 1 soon.
No, I subscribed you because like I was looking at your
there you go.
actually
you get
Instagram
the link.
and I didn't know you had a YouTube. I was like, hold up, he has a YouTube? Hold on, let me. Nah, like, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of my friends, when they're trying to do something, I try to show every support. I try to show as much support as I can. To their stuff because, like, financially, it's been a little bit tight, but it's getting a little bit better. But like, when I get a chance, I want to literally like get everybody together, and I'm gonna look at Justin like, listen. ask me tell me the price for like whatever you could cater for all of us. Whatever, we'll work with something. Just like feed everybody from his thing. That's just my way of support. Because like I tell people, especially with food, if your food looks good and I know I'm gonna eat it, I'm spending money, and that's what like I tell people. Most of my money goes to food. Like, I'm a cook. I enjoy food. I like going places to try different food. It's the same thing. If I see good food from people, I'm like, just take all my money. I don't care today.
No, I did that the other day. Went to Muya, and I was like, I really was in the mood.
Oh, damn! I haven't heard Muyas in a minute. Like,
bro, Muya was bossy, and I had it over at UConn.
Yeah, because that's the only place I know in Connecticut that.
No, there's another one. Well, I don't know if they moved, but there was like another one in like New Britain.
My thing is like I can't.
There was one right in New Britain.
But then it's like I can't like UConn was my first spot, and that's just.
Well, that's closer to you either way, right?
No,
that's way off the other end.
Yeah, because remember, I don't live.
Yeah. I know. I'm just talking.
Like when I used to live up there, that was my go-to spot, and my thing was like I used to just grab just the burger and the shake. I didn't care for the fries. Their fries wasn't that great.
Yo, that's what had me surprised. I thought their fries were booty cheeks, right? But I ate in, and these fries was delicious. Like I couldn't even. It was so many fries I couldn't even finish them. I had a double cheeseburger with a hot dog, but the hot dog, right? They cut it in half, so it wasn't like a glizzy. They cut the bitch in half. No, turned it into a sandwich.
So that's the thing that hot dog. So that's the thing that I noticed a lot of restaurants are doing now, and I'm just like, what's the point about that? But I learned that adds more space for the filling and stuff like that.
It was too much. They put too much mustard on mushrooms, man.
I don't know. I'm not a hot dog person. I'm good.
What?
Look, I'm sausages and hamburgers. That's it. But the reason I don't like hot dogs is because I know a little too much that people ruin it for me. I'm like, I'm good. Just like I don't eat shrimps, I don't eat lobsters. And I used to love my lobster tail with steak. I was a big lobster tail and steak person. And then when they told me what lobster is and explained a lot of things, I was like, I'm good. Just give me my steak.
Nah, steak is pretty good too. I like steak.
One spot that we're talking about food, and we're talking about like food in Connecticut. One of my favorite spots to go to is Sakura Garden. It's in the plaza in Manchester, not that far from the mall. So it's a hibachi spot.
Which mall though? You said Manchester?
Yeah. It's by so there's Manchester, and if you keep going up, it's the little plazas over there.
Nowhere in Manchester, nowhere.
Sakura Garden hasn't disappointed me or failed me.
Garden in that plaza or GameStop is?
No, the other plaza, the Greenville Plaza or some shit like that.
The one down a little bit further towards the...
No, because it's before Olive Garden. Because where Olive Garden and...
you talking about...
Where they have all these clothing store...
there's a new hibachi grill there. Oh, I think they're talking about... And it's across, like, from Subway.
It's not that far from Old Navy.
It's across the street from Subway. McDonald's is in the plaza as well?
No, it's the same plaza as Old Navy and... What's that natural food place? It's been a minute when we get a chance, I'll bring you to the spot.
You talking about Evergreen? Yeah, I was saying that's past. You when you go past Manchester, you go to Manchester as past that's past Olive Garden. Evergreen.
No, it's before Olive Garden because if you turn there, Olive Garden's further.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even know that because it's the same plaza that brings the.
I've been on a date to Evergreen, and I went to the smoothie shop, and that's why I knew you were talking about Old Navy. And then that's the only natural spot out there in Manchester is Evergreen. So no, and you said green something, and once you said green,
so there's a smoothie, but there's a
Apple store.
No, it's a food grocery store. That's all natural, whatever. I keep forgetting what it's called.
You're talking about Trader Joe's.
No, it's owned by Amazon. I forgot the place. I was just talking to somebody about it. Besides the point. So Sakura Garden is a hibachi spot I used to go to a lot. Everything. The only thing is, they're only good for the food. I don't like their drinks. I'm good.
No, not Madrid, and they're not specializing in drinks. But if you're talking about Evergreen, that's before. That's after the plaza.
But now, like, that was like a spot I used to go to just about every other month. Oh, and it's because like they're so. First of all, it's a Japanese spot. Like don't.
What's favorite like? Well, other than what you say you like your favorite recipes that you make. What's your favorite like out to eat type of
food? Right now I've been kind of having this thing with smoke barbecue joints. It's like any place that has like a good brisket, good like
I had some good brisket the other day.
Yeah. The last time I had a good brisket was up in like Northampton area, cause they had like a little food truck, whatever. And dude, like, if anything gave me the itis and like I just woke up from a nap, ate, and still put me back in nap, was that spot. It was me, my a friend of mine, and my roommate. My roommate was going through it, whatever, and so she was like over it with a guy she was talking to. So we were all like, let's just all hang out a spot en masse, whatever. So it happens, I was already tired from work. I was already cranky. I was not a morning person. I just did a morning shift. So I showered, yada yada, go there. And so it happens, they saw a food spot. And the most funniest thing is that they're like, hey, you want food? And you just see me like, food? What happened? So they told me about a barbecue food truck they have over there. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. I just woke up from a nap. I finished eating a brisket sandwich with a little bit of pulled pork and barbecue.
Sounds good as fuck.
They could not finish the fries. They gave me the fries, and then I ate baked mac and cheese on top of that. Plus had a milkshake. Yeah, I went back to sleep afterwards.
That shit sound good as hell. Sound like I need some of that tonight. But
I'm gonna see this weekend I can go to the spot because I've been craving it for a bit, and I've been telling everybody like I only went last year once. I don't need to go to a situation where like, hey, I went to a place like once or twice and then it just closes. Cause there was a restaurant I went years back called Risotto. Went for the one time, I was like, yo, let me go again. Permanently shut down. I'm like, just had it like a couple months ago.
But why would they shut down?
Owner passed away from COVID. Nobody really could keep up the place open. Like there was no next of kin. Nobody to pass it on. Nobody to trust. They kept it open to a certain point, and then it's just like shut down.
Me, I would have showed up like, bro, I need more food immediately. I need it.
Restaurant business is actually tough, especially when you don't really have somebody that you could trust with a restaurant. So like if I did my catering business, I don't know who I would trust it with, to be honest, like off the top of my head. It'll be like, here's my legacy, I passed away, goodbye.
You gotta give it to your kid. You plan on having kids?
Maybe in the near future. It's a very touchy subject when it comes with that. Not that I have anything against kids, it's just like there's a lot in depth with that topic in general, but it's just one of those some things where like I don't open publicly about.
No, I was just saying like in general, like ever.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like in that topic, I'd leave it up like maybe one day, but like to explain in depth, that's a very touchy topic.
No, I get you.
But now like that's another thing that people need to understand is that even though, let's say I have a kid, whatever, what is the guarantee that kid's gonna love cooking, whatever? Because like I told you before, everybody in my family play an instrument, did music, whatever, and I was the only one doing poetry, not poetry, drawing at the moment, and then I switched to poetry, and I don't want nobody was really supportive. It's now they want to be supportive, and I'm just like, I don't need that fake love right now.
Well, why not reciprocate the real love, the love that you didn't fully get with them to your son? Like, at least in whatever he's good at or try to be good at, you go ahead and do the same. Like, you can show him the ropes from the jump, or your daughter or whatever.
No, I can, but the thing is,
and it's not guaranteed that they're all going to be. That's what I'm saying. They could be a standout almost.
So it's one of those things because my mother had this idea where I wanted to be a game designer, and that was her fixation because she was a graphic artist also, yada yada, and that's what she wanted to do. And because I did not excel that, she was like, "Oh, well, you could be in the medical field." Like her idea was like, it's everything what I want, and I would look at her like, it's not your life to live. Just because you did not succeed in all this does not mean you forced me. You didn't even give me a choice to try it out and say, hey, how you feel about it. You forced me to learn this. So I didn't want to. And it's the same thing with, like I said, nothing against my siblings. Like, it's not me bashing them. But, like, my younger sister supports it to a certain extent, but she finds it very too dark, too touchy, too emotional. From past conversations we had. Hell, she even would judge like my music, where it's like, in her statement, it makes me feel like I'm doing Velcros on my arm. I'm looking at her like, the same way how I don't judge her music and I put up with it, whatever, even if I don't like it, I would expect the same result. I mean, I don't say you have to like it, but to make an unnecessary statement when I don't judge you in your music or anything I do or anything you do, why should you judge me? And again, me and her have our ups and downs. I still wish her the best in life. Right now she's doing, for what I see, she's doing better now. She has somebody that, that loves her, adores her, and everything.
Support is everything, low key.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes down to like your family and people that you love. It
well,
would be
so
good to like have support.
So for what I've learned, especially with my family, from people's family will always be family, but at this point, families has become more relatives than actual family. The people that are not your blood relatives are more family than your own actual blood.
Sometimes it all depending, because you gotta think like.
So I'm speaking from my experience. You're right. So like, there's cases like where you're going, and that is a factual. There's some cases where it's not even a case. Help. Sometimes even your own friends are the snakes in the garden. Same thing with relatives, whatever. But in my case, it's shown that my circle has been more family than my own actual family. And then with my older sister, if she sees it's cool, and it's not me trying to start an argument, whatever, but I'm just gonna be a blunt. The thing that I don't like about her, and she did this when I did my article with Black Noise, where like they wrote about me, whatever, talking about the podcast, whatever, has never shown me support, and she has the nerve. I gave her permission to share it, but has the nerve to put it like, I'm so proud of him, I helped him get there.
Took the credit.
I'm looking at her, where did you even push me to do better with my writing? This was all me. None of you were supporting. And again, it's not me trying to start an argument or bash her in the media, whatever, because like I said, no matter the bad blood that me and my siblings have, my relatives, whatever, I still wish them the best in life. However, when I need to speak the truth, I will always speak the truth. And unfortunately, they don't like that about me. And I'm just like, I'm not here to please you. But you're not going to sit here, have me put a mask on, blend in with you guys because y'all want to be happy. But I got to be miserable. And so that's why like I've been distanced from my family, because if it doesn't benefit them, if they don't gain out of it, they don't really care. And then once they saw that I was progressing and doing things, mainly my older sister, she wants to now show love. Be like, hey, you got this, yada yada. I'm like, where was that years ago? And it's not even genuine, because I've seen her do it and then switch up, and I'm like, I don't need that. Just keep your distance. I keep mine. I do wish you best in life. Like right now, she's pregnant with her third kid. I spoke my views on it, whatever. Like, again, it's not something I'm gonna speak publicly, but like I spoke my views. She has her views, yeah. But till this day, I said I wish her the best in life, and I hope that baby comes healthy, whatever, and she does well with the kid, and her family is safe and sound. But that's my point. I'm that sibling where no matter the feud we have, I keep it respectful. When the table turns, it's not that. And that's why, like, one of the things I tell people, I distance myself from a lot of things because I don't need that in my life. I don't. Mm-hmm. And that's been, like, with every type of relationship, including friends, past relationships, stuff like that. The one thing that my heart attack taught me was that nobody's above my peace. And if you're gonna disturb my peace, I'm sorry, but you gotta go.
That's valid. Learning self-values is valid. Learning having boundaries is valid in life. Knowing that somebody's disturbing your peace takes real
so as you said, boundaries, I wish I knew what that was, or more like practice it more back then than I did now. Maybe I would be in a better place, but I would admit younger me was sometimes a pushover. And hence why I try to be more like, not stern, but very out there and open, like, where I tell people, like, if there's something that you need to start putting in boundaries, there's something you need to speak about and be open about it, have that courage, do it. Because if you're not open with things, especially us men, if we're not very expressive with things, whatever, it does mess us up mentally. In general, messes up people mentally, but especially for us men, like I tell people, females are more emotional creature, males are more mental, and you gotta understand, like, with females, that takes an emotional toll. And that's why I look like there was somebody I was talking to them, like, I get it, you want to be happy with your family, whatever, but like, if they don't respect your boundary, then you're gonna understand that they're more relative than family. And she had a hard time comprehending that, but she's slowly now understanding. She's slowly growing from that.
Your sister, right?
No,
no,
it's somebody I
Spaz. Okay.
Yeah. And then even with me, like, there's a lot of people that that are my male friends that they're going through mentally where they don't know what to do with certain things because they're trying to be people pleasers. And I'm looking at them like, no matter what you say, it's gonna always piss off somebody. Today you might make somebody happy, but then tomorrow you're gonna piss off somebody. Do what's best for you. Because as much as we have our circle, just one thing people need to remember, yes, we have our circle, but the same way you were born alone, you're gonna die. And technically die alone. Like, yes, you can have your surrounding people, yada yada, who grieve for you, yada yada.
But in reality,
you still die alone.
There's nobody majority of the time buried in the casket with you.
Yeah. And so, like, that's why I also, like, I don't like this whole, like, fake love thing because, like, it's the ideology, like, you want to praise me now, where was that? And the thing is, when you don't praise me when I die, you finally give me my praises, my flowers, and everything. I was like, if it's not genuine, I don't want it.
What happens if you don't? What happens if you didn't give her? What happens if she doesn't have enough time to be genuine yet? Like, what happens if she's trying to? Maybe because she finally does believe in your. Like, I'm learning, like, right now, even if it's somebody, it's like a hater, for instance, somebody who's never really supported me, and they are supporting me now. But I would be more mad at the fact that they're trying to take the fact that the idea that I had and say it was theirs. Yes, I would be tight. 100%. I agree with that. That's wrong. But I would allow them to continue to support the idea because now I know you were just that person who was.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I see that. So I see that more of a thing for my younger sister. Like,
I'm saying, but for your growth part, like, and more so, like, for you as a person, because like you're saying, you don't wish bad, but you don't like the fact that she even tried to even take the idea that, hey, yeah, I was the one who convinced him to go to do podcasts.
But that's what I'm saying, like, because like I see that character more for my sister, like, like, say when my sister, like, how she called me and said whatever. I see that more coming from my sister because the thing I give credit to my younger sister, and for her being my baby sister, she is a very bright little girl. Is that when she comes to clarification of certain things where she knows she is wrong, she tries to make amends as much as she can. My oldest, I'm sorry to say, she's no different than my older than my.
You got 3 sisters or 1 brother, 2 sisters?
So I have 2 sisters and 5 brothers. Yeah. The last 3 came from my mom, but the 5, like, we're from the last 3 are from the same mom and dad. The other 5, that's a whole different story.
There's 10 altogether.
No. There's 8. 3.
Oh, you said another 5. I'm sorry. I wasn't like, I got you. 8. Okay.
Yeah. My
that's
father.
That's not including yourself or including yourself to the 8.
That's including myself.
Okay.
When my older sister, unfortunately, and she hates that I say this all the time, she is no different than my mother because both her, if it has to be like it benefits them, and like I've had so many times where I have the benefit of doubt of my older sister. I really did. I really tried. But time after time, it's the same thing. And after a while, it's just like, you know what? I'm good. I prefer to love you at a distance. Like, I don't hate her. I will always love her as my sister because, like, there was a point where we were close. But who she is now, I'm good. Just stay at a distance. And not only that, like, that's my problem is that I can't tell you, like, this is what bothers me or, like, say with her music, if I criticize something like, hey, this is not really you, like, it doesn't whatever, she takes it as, like, bad judgment instead of, like, healthy criticism. Like, listen, I'm not trying to judge you, I'm trying to help you do better. It's a whole mess, and it's just got to the point where I was just like I said, I'm good. And like I said, when I had that heart attack and I started seeing certain things that I didn't like, it's where I was just like, nah, see, y'all raising my blood pressure, y'all not worth it.
Wow, your health over wealth, man. I mean, wealth over health. Was it health over wealth? Wealth over health. Health over wealth. One of the two, you know, man. Cause to be honest, bro, you can't sit here and be arguing with people that aren't understanding you at a certain point in time in your life, especially a dangerous point where like you're having heart attacks or having a heart attack. That was your first one, and seizures. That was the thing that you had repeatedly, seizures. And doesn't that go along with like blood pressure, seizures?
Seizures can raise blood pressures too, not as much as heart attacks because like that's why I say like if my body's under stress, I'll have seizures. Not only that, including my mental health, with panic attacks and all that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it was already
there's a lot
bad.
like in my health in general that I need to take care of. And I look at like if you are not a healthy thing in my life for my health, I don't want you. I need you to keep your distance. And that's why, like, I tell people, I'm good where I'm at. Like, even where I'm at, like, I'll welcome you in my own home. But the minute you disturb that peace, I'm like, I need you to go. Because my own home is my own sanctuary, and you are not disturbing my sanctuary.
That's good. That's good that you're learning to have boundaries. Should I say that?
Yeah.
You're having more of boundaries, knowing that you have to.
Yeah, because back then I did not.
It was low-key a blessing and a curse, like you said, with the pen.
Yeah. But I mean, you pretty much know my life story, pretty much.
Now I know more in depth. Now I know more in depth than I did before. Before we're at work and stuff like that, so it's
it's not only that. You gotta understand, like we were busy. Like I said, we have our own life, and then we also work night shift. A lot of times, people don't have the energy. Like the most time, like if you have energy, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've learned real quick. Like if you want to hang out with people, you're gonna have to grab food. You're gonna have to grab food and just like actually hang out that way. Because even with my buddy Preston, like the only time we hang out is we're gonna grab food and we just chill and we catch up, yada yada. But like on a regular nonchalant day, yeah, good luck with how people work night shift. We barely like even getting up. What makes you think we're gonna like attempt?
Nah, I hear you on that, cause man, goddamn, working here, man, working in places that just have to have long shifts and long nights, especially if you do the night shift. It just makes you feel more drained when you actually do eventually have a conversation with somebody. Like, man, I've been just working my ass off. Man, you think I want to have a conversation about your problems?
But
I got enough issues as it is.
The only reason I knew about like the whole food thing was because like me and my best friend Luke, knowing that we're a night shift person, we also hate mornings. We will purposely go to breakfast to actually sit down, eat, and then conversate. And that's why I learned that. I think that's also what got me more into cooking because it's something me and my grandmother used to do where every Sunday dinner was a thing. Like, listen, I don't care what you're doing with your life, whatever, but come to the house every Sunday, have Sunday dinner. and everybody would eat, we would conversate, catch up, yada yada. And I think that's what nowadays people forget, that like, yes, you have work life, yes, you have all this net, but you still have to make time for your important people, even if it's just like a simple dinner. Because here's the thing, nobody's gonna remember you, the $1,000,000 you have, whatever. It's the little things, and that's why like the poetry that I honor her. It's like I tell everybody, this is an honor to her of the little things that I cherish the most about her. And I think if we live in a world where we cherish the little things, where we actually acknowledge like, hey, these little moments count, maybe the loss of people will not hurt as much. Because one of the biggest things people go through when it comes to like losing somebody is that, I wish I would have done this more, I wish I would have done that, whatever. But where was that same energy when they were alive? That's why, like, even with us men, like, a lot of people cry over like a father or an uncle or a best friend as a male, like, I wish I could have done this, but where was that same energy? You were quick to hand me the flowers when I'm dead, but where was that when I was alive?
Nowhere. Sorry, just make sure we're back to the chart. My dad's been trying to teach me about that. Like, make sure you appreciate and do everything you can for me while I'm alive.
Actually, I have a question for you, if it's okay.
What?
Are you close to your dad?
To be honest, I wish I was closer these days, but I have my reasons of not being close to my dad. Maybe it's like self. My dad had been very, I would say, truthful to a very harsh point. And a lot of times my dad, like your dad, was a drunk, and still to this day he drinks a lot. He always tries to, refer to himself as not like I'm not a drunk. I know how to talk. I'm just telling the truth. And it's like, yeah, but you're very much out of control, okay? And your like your tone and the way you speak to people could be different. My dad has pretty much told me that I wouldn't be anything in life when he was drunk one time, right? And I was like, damn. But I also told my dad I hate him one time before he told me that. I believe.
So my advice: how old is your dad?
We've been at a couple.
No, how old is he?
He's about 60, 64.
So I'm gonna stop you there because my father was like in his 50s, 60s. He was in the Vietnam War.
He passed?
Yeah, he passed.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that.
So there were certain things I found about what he went through that I did not know he went through, and this is why I said the statement, my mother was a woman over a mother. And when I mean woman, and emphasize like in everything, she was a woman over everything. May her, she rest in peace. I'm not trying to slander her, whatever, but like I'm pointing out like the things that she did that affected everybody, including my father. What I've learned with my father, especially the older generation, learn to just forgive and let it be. One, they're stuck in their ways. Two, they grew up at a different time year that there are certain things that probably not even now that people do with therapy and stuff like that can help. Because bad thing, remember, we're in a situation where yes, trauma is trauma, but it's like saying, well, what I went through right now is worse than war. First of all, it's always worse for everybody. And like I said, you've been through it, whatever, but you also don't know his full story. And even if you did, you have to understand that he's at fault for his choices, but you can't control what he does. And I'm not saying be close to him. I'm not saying be his best bud.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, me? You didn't let me finish. That's why I was like, me and my dad been more closer than before. Like, we've been more, like, I've been more closer to him because he's told me his side of the story finally. Like, and how, like, my mom and them were supposed to almost have a divorce and stuff like that. Like, in the last couple of years of growing up, I've been seeing them go through it a lot more. And I had to separate myself because, like you said, like, the stress levels was really high for me to, like, even be around them and then, like, have to pick sides or sometimes even look at my mom and see, like, she could be the problem, and knowing that my mom, I never used to see this, like, because I'm growing up now. So now I'm hearing things and hearing conversations, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we're watching them live argue with each other and stuff, like. So then eventually stuff like that started to happen where they almost got divorced, but then my mom backed out of the situation And now my dad is telling me all the stories and stuff like that. Like, I'm getting older. He's getting closer to me and able to just find somebody to talk to because he always feels like the family don't like talking to him. But you could guess what? You always fucking drinking, and every time we drink, and you just keep.
Yeah, you're causing the problem, and you're not doing anything to change it.
Yeah, you're not doing anything to change it. You're just saying shit. Oh, you guys, they never just want to be. Yes, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's the part that he's quick to point out people to take accountability.
So right now, one thing I could agree with you on, and one thing that I definitely feel, and I definitely felt it in my heart when you were talking about, was support. So one thing that I don't like about him is that he has the opportunity to be supportive right now to me on this podcast. He has a YouTube channel, doesn't have me on it. He has me on it, but doesn't have me on live right now. You know what I'm trying to say? While I'm doing a podcast. He came to a couple of one of my wrestling meets. I recently just posted on my wrestling meets. Didn't have come to all of them, but he could have. They were all days and things that he could have done supportive wise. He's never had a father figure, like a full father figure. He had a stepfather in his life. So his father like ran out and whatever type shit. So I understand where the traumas can come from, but I'm on the same type of time with you where people ain't on the same, like, oh, he asked me the other day about being like Kai Cenat or something like that. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to do that right now. Like, with my streaming live shit where I'm gaming like Kai Cenat, or Kai Cenat doing in real life shit, like, or podcasting, or he's doing shit with other people like this, or they're sitting down and having a conversation. And he wanted to be on that last podcast that I had. I didn't even show you what it looked like. I'll show you on my phone.
That's fine.
Like, it's... But like, so we wanted to, he wanted to be on the last one, but my boy ended up canceling the podcast, like I was telling you before. He ended up doing some different shit, some music shit. Or this shit, and he deleted everything. He deleted all this shit, and then we had to get it back to being reposted. So this is the setup that he had. Yeah. This is just our new house, the house that we had got. Yeah. Together. I'm paying rent, he's paying rent, and hold on, let me show you the fucking demon. Where's she at? She might not be in this. Because he reposted these, and these didn't have the same amount of views because he reposted them like a year or two later on a different account, not on his same music account. He went to
but when you do that, you gotta be very like.
Yeah, don't even tell me. Don't even trust me. This whole situation can be so tight. Where's she at? Oh, she's not even just a little bit. Anyway, she was in the back. Anyways, his shawty, his shawty was the reason why we pretty much didn't ever like do anything with that podcast. Like, we were so good. We were getting so many. We're clicking.
So again, I don't know your boy, and again, I'm not here to judge your side, whatever. But like, one thing I learned, like, it's the same thing with a buddy of mine that, you know, he was doing his own thing, and when he got a girl, he started like kind of slacking. If within your circle, even your partner does not support you, my dude, that's not the girl for you. And again, I don't know.
I was already telling him that.
I don't know his situation. I'm not judging. I'm just doing it as a general base because, like I said, it's the same thing. Like, in general, like, we're growing families and like, we see what we see, but we don't know the background, what's going on, yada yada. Like I said, I'm not saying your boy is bad. I'm not saying your girl is bad, but I don't know.
No, his girl.
His girl, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Hell no, that would never be me. Hell no. I would not live. Oh, bro, that is not me, bro. My shawty would have been kicked out of the house immediately. Either she's going, or I'm paying my side of the bills, bro. Like, that's just how.
I get that, but because and it's just one of those things where like I just look at like I give a general advice and go from that, and that's why I said like we don't know the full story from both sides, but at the same time, I don't need you or anybody playing devil's advocate in any of the situation. You know, it is what it is.
Oh no, this side of the story has already been proven on the podcast.
No, so I'm aware.
I'm talking about more so about my dad. Even in that situation, my dad wasn't very supportive of me moving out in the first place.
Well, no, that's what I'm not talking about your father. I'm talking about that situation.
His support came out of his support wasn't like a real. He was one of also like back in the thing where like they tried to take in the credit for your idea. The podcast shit wasn't his idea. He was a music producer. He was a beat producer. He wanted to make music first. The podcast came along with when we found out he had all the mic equipment. We could talk about all the stuff that we've been talking about. Me and my boy that was with him did all that. That's what I'm trying to say. So obviously he stopped doing all this. He doesn't do podcasting no more. I still do podcasts, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's more of a me thing, being passionate about it, and
no, and I guess you should. And like honestly, like I said, you were doing your thing. Like I said, you still have my support. Like to made up on, I was like, yeah, let me subscribe.
But I'm saying like I'm trying to be in the same boat with you because it's like I'm not even trying to be in the same boat. I am in the same boat with you when I think about how my dad doesn't do it for me. Like he's just not there when it comes down to it. I was showing him like even showing him like you know what I'm saying. He asked me to be on there one day, so I mean, could you ask? So my dad, we're close enough to a point now though, like where we can. I went and play horseshoes with him, or we do stuff like that.
No, and that's good. It's always good to hear that like people that were not close to their parent become close. Unfortunately, everybody gets that, and that's why like I was telling like my friend like not everybody gets that luxury, but be grateful what you still have. Cause like she's still close to her uncle, and I'm looking at her like you at least got your uncle. Like I'm not close to my siblings. I'm not close to anybody in my family member, but I am close to my aunt that married my uncle dated my uncle who passed away. And though they're not legally married, whatever, that's still my aunt. I'm close to my uncle from PR, he's coming up here in August. And I told him, like, listen, we saw each other once. It was a quick thing, but I do want to make the time where, let's grab dinner, let's catch up, let's pick, because he was the one, him and my other uncle were the only one that no matter what my father did, still care for my dad. Like, generally still care for him and loved him for no matter his flaws, whatever. Everybody else, I'm just like, I don't want to hear nonsense from y'all. Goodbye. Because y'all were the same people that put a mask on, crying, whatever, but also the same people that was slandering him. And I'm like, regardless that he wasn't perfect, you guys dragged him in the mud when he was dead.
You don't ever think you'll be able to forgive them.
So it's not that like I said, I've forgiven them. I just don't want to be around that because that's them every day.
Okay, so you don't think you'll ever be able to be back around them when you get back to like your what's it called, being down?
So I don't like, so like, even if because like, even if I bring that down, I don't want to be around that. Like, it's just not something I want to be surrounded, because like, if you cannot be peaceful and understanding and keep it a calm, collected mind, regardless of what you have as an opinion, especially with some, like I said, like I have my issues with my biological mother, but you don't see me like slandering her all the way, whatever. Like I leave it as neutral. It's like, listen, she did what she did, but she's done. She's not here to defend herself, and that's my issue. Is that my family is known for that they'll still do what they have to do with their opinion when they're not there to defend themselves. Like I am not okay with that. Like right. He's already gone. He can't do anything. Why you?
Trust me, I've had that in the recent years. I've heard about that.
And so, like, that's why the only one
I talk using his name in vain type shit.
Yeah, so that's why the only one I talk to is my uncle Lewis. Love the man, adore the man, great dude. Like, I wish he was closer, but he lives in PR. I'm like, damn it, deal. And then to find out that I have two of my cousins that are nerds, like they actually build like their own cosplay. I'm just like, yo.
So what that mean when they build cosplay? What that mean?
So like they actually designed their own cosplay, like 3D printer, all that stuff. I'm like, yo, but that's intriguing to me. Why
did you never get into the gaming designing?
So it's too much mathematics, too much techie stuff. I'm not tech savvy.
Well, don't they have people who just like test the game?
But that's the thing. The deeper part is that once my grandmother passed away, it died with her. That's why I said, like, in the analogy of like iron, out of the ashes I pour an iron pen. So like with her passing, a part of me that was around her died with her. And then a new version of me was born as I pulled that iron pen out of the ashes. So like, essentially, like, she did not just die. The version of me that she knew when she was alive died with her, and then this whole different person was born. Would I say this person was peaceful at the time? No, I was a very angry person for quite a while.
It's very normal after.
Well, so yeah, but like I was angry. She passed away, like I said, when I was 15, when I was 16. I kind of just chilled out when I was like 26. And that's damn near almost a decade of just being angry. And that's why I said, like, younger years when I was like 15, 16, maybe 17 is passable. After 18, it's just like, dude, now you really need to chill out. Like, there's no reason to cause havoc, cause problem, hurt people, like, disrespect people. Like, who I am right now, the way I think, whatever, I was not like that. Like, when I say I was angry, I was, if I could bring war to you, I will bring war to you, and I don't care the consequences.
So you think poetry got you into a calmer place? You think it mended?
It did not get me to a calmer place until I, like, just like your father, I didn't realize how harsh my words were. And so I started dialing back and reflecting things where, like, okay, I should not be doing this. Because, like, there's honesty, then there's you're being an asshole friend that you're brutal, honestly.
He never really dialed it back. I just separated myself kind of like...
No. So, like,
that's why I got the crib by myself.
But that's why, like, explaining myself, because, like, there's honesty, there's the brutal honesty, like you're the asshole friend. And then there's the none of that was necessary type of honesty, per se. And that was me, consistently. Like, I didn't care who stopped being my friend, whatever, because I was so that angry. I was a version where, like, I wanted people to feel what I felt. And some of those people didn't even deserve that type of treatment. So I didn't start getting calm until I was 23. Because once I left out of my environment and moved to Connecticut, it's when I started getting calm.
So, you say it's just an environment that made you calmer, or you think that, like, you having a reconcile with yourself?
So it's not even, I could say the environment, but I think me getting away from the environment and kind of just essentially giving me time to reset, like, just get away from everything, is what got me to realize you need to just chill out and just live life the best you can. Like, there's still that side where I have days where I'm still that angry person, but, like, I try to center myself again. I'm like, listen, let it go. It's not worth it.
So you don't think poetry is a way that you express yours? Like, you don't express your anger through poetry?
No, I still do. Okay. But, like, not at the level like I did where, like I said, like, it was unnecessary emotion because, like, there's a way where I used to write where, like, I was way too direct and disrespectful. Like, think of it like how people write music. You know, there's, like, hey, people talk about it. And then you have your diss tracks. Most of my writing was, like, dissing people, disrespecting people, whatever, yada, yada. Like, I was very, like, vulgar with my words and everything. Like, I didn't hold back. And it was, like, I was in this, like, God complex mindset where, like, I thought I was better than everybody because I could do this, I could do that, whatever. When I'm like, listen, the same way how I got this gift, whatever, and I can write, well, you know, you're not even doing anything. It's like the whole, if I want to put a good analogy, it's like the whole Eminem situation where there was a point he wanted to diss everybody, whatever, and then he calmed the fuck down. So I was living that kind of era when my poetry was like, well, I got a talent, whatever, I can beat everybody, whatever. When I'm like, dude, you don't even know even a good phrase to write because you're too busy being in pain, and you're disrespecting everybody that can make you better, and you're just making a fool of yourself. And once I kind of got away from that mindset, once I changed my environment, it's when I started calming down. Like, nah, I need to humble myself a bit.
Do you think your poetry will ever get you closer to your family? Possibly, even when you get bigger. Like, ever see that? What's that movie? Shit, wasn't it? Did you see, is it Reindeer? He didn't have poetry, but he definitely wrote, like, is it My Little Reindeer? It was about a stalker. And he was a comedian. Just wanted to keep, he was, like, the worst comedian ever, but then he ended up getting a stalker that was, like, a little bit overweight, but they ended up falling in love as well. It was kind of weird. Then, like, she ended up trying to kill him. It was kind of crazy. But then he ended up writing, like, a whole book about it, and, like, it got published.
So, I don't...
Also, he got raped by an artist. He got raped by he wanted to make a book. He wanted to put out a book, and he got raped by an author who knew was famous, and the author had drugged him. It was a crazy whole fucking thing.
That's actually very tense. But, like, to answer your question... To answer your question, I don't know, because like my thing is like if you could be grown enough to make amends and actually be honest with yourself, like people make mistakes, so I'm gonna put it out there. People make mistakes, whatever. But like if you cannot grow from your mistake and you cannot be genuine, then I don't want to. Because like I've forgiven people that done me dirty like 1,000 times, and they generally show like, no, I really know I messed up. I'm trying to grow. If I could see that my family doing that, then maybe. But like I said, it's not like I don't care if you support me from my writing or not, whatever. I don't care if you think my writing's gonna go somewhere or not. It's the fact that your mindset, your energy, your attitude is what disturbed my peace, and I don't need that.
But that's what I'm saying. What happens if you find a way to get to their hearts through your actual, like, say one day, like I know you're like, they're not really supporting me, or yeah, I don't want that fake energy right now. But just say that one day that you have put something out and they actually go read it, and they come to you with like actual like parts of your book and parts of the poems, and like talking to you like, yo, this really touched my heart, and I get where you're coming from.
Then yeah, but that just means that I finally did the one goal I was do is just touch my audience and see like they can relate.
That's the one thing I get what you're saying, but you were saying touching your touching other people. But I hear that you're having trouble here, so I just wonder if you think that you're could ever touch your family, because like I mean,
but that's the same mentality that I do with people. With my audience.
Dad.
So I'm saying like the same thing that I would say like with my siblings. Like, say one day I write something and it gets to that point where like it's the same concept I want to do with my audiences, and it brings it closer. Then yeah, is that ever going to be a likelihood? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what tomorrow holds. Like I said, I still keep an open mind, but it's like I said earlier. I see that more with my younger sister than my older. If for some God miracle that happens with both, I'll take the blessing. But I'm going off also from habits they do that they don't change, and that's why like I feel like
every day is different, so it's possible they can change.
No, and I still
and for the better
with that.
And the better for you, like, in a way for you.
Yeah,
I never know. Cause I've learned to like me and my sister. Never. I have a sister. Me and my sister never used to get along like that. My sister, every time you used to come in her room, get out, mom. Every time, bro. Like, and I'll be like, can I get like, see how you got those Pringles right there, and you left them there for this long, and she already had them, but you want them for later. I know you probably want them for later. I'll come in the door. Can I have some Pringles, please? She older, just getting money, finally able to get stuff. I'm asking for it, because I'm the little brother that ain't got no Pringles. Let me get some Pringles, please. No. Can I get that Chinese food that you got left in the fridge? No. I tried to tell her. I even told her like I think it was last year. I had to let her know. I was like, yo, I really didn't fuck with you for a little bit. Like, I low-key grew up and I kind of stopped fucking with you. Like, mentally, I start putting myself in a position where I know you're not about to give me stuff, and if you do give me stuff, it's like you really didn't want it. It was almost old, damn near old. And if you did give it to me, it was just because like you literally just was trying to be like you wanted something out of me. Me and my sister never really built a rapport. Like, I remember me farting in her face one time, like when I was little. I was really little. Because I really did sometimes to be a fight. Like, we just always going at it. But we were never really, like, really disrespectful to each other, too often. And my mom always tried to stop the shut up, don't say shut up, stuff like that. She tried to stop that because my mom go to church. So, yeah, it's just really, like, me and my sister, though, we would go back and forth. So, but me and her now, like, she drive me around sometimes. She brought me, I had watched her kid for her. Eventually, when she had a kid, and the baby daddy's not around, watched him for a whole year, missed college and all that, did all that for her just to be, like, for her to still make the same mistake following years later with the same guy. Bothered me because it's like, now you're just doing this alone with your family, and you're putting your family, you're not thinking about your family, you're only thinking about yourself in this point, because now, because they got back together, things start seeming like it's going to be good. Come to find out, we already knew this, but he already had 5 other children with somebody else.
Jesus Christ!
I say 5, but it was like 3. We don't even know fully. We don't know the full number. He already had that, and that's
it's like I still say to this day, like
you don't never see that. I've never seen that from my sister. My sister, like, she was straight A student and stuff, like quiet student. Like, she wasn't like the type to be all out at parties all times of the night. You know what I'm saying? She barely even smoked or did drinking until she got a little bit older. You feel me? So it was like one of those moments I'm like, like, what the freak? What the freak happened? Like, life be happening, but I was mad at her for some years too when I stopped the college thing and I was doing that. And I'm looking at her like for her choices, but I'm learning that like it's just that like that one moment in time in life where you going to miss them. You're going to miss that person, and you're eventually, depending on whatever happened, that one good memory, the one good times, when they are gone, there's going to be a time you reflect on something that good, or majority of the time, I've learned that you never really stay mad at anybody in life. So Drake said, give it like 48 hours or something like that, and really think to yourself, are you really mad about something, or are you looking at your at this from a weird lens? Are you? He said most people don't keep thinking about stuff after a while, depending on how big the situation is. But one thing like support, I understand that from a deeper part, because I am going through something where it's like, if my people's is here, I'm gonna feel better. I feel way better knowing that my mom is here. Hey, my mom is supporting my content. My mom started to support my content, but she said I was doing too much cussing. She goes to church. I understand. Get it. So,
no, trust me. Especially growing up
and
brought up
with your
Barbados
grandma.
Woman.
Yeah, like my grandma would not tolerate that either. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So I was like, and then being
just
in church,
like even the Puerto Rican slang, like cuss words, like so much. My grandmother would hear that, and she was just looking at me like.
It's so funny because they'll hear it, but they'll do it when they about to beat your butt for sure, by accident or on purpose. One of the two.
But like the minute I saw that scolding, I was like, you know what? No, I'm misbehaving. Goodbye. Nah, the chancla's not worth it. And
that's funny as hell that y'all be worried about a sandal and black people are worried about actual belts. Y'all worried about it?
Oh no! We got hit with everything, but the sandal.
That's the funny thing. Every time I hear this story, I got hit with everything. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
The sandal is just like, that's just traumatizing for some reason.
Yeah, because as soon as they see something they can throw at you, they're throwing it at you. And it's funny because it's like they have accuracy without having accuracy. Like, they might miss like the 1, 2, whoop.
Yo. Like, my grandmother did not play, and oof.
No, I believe in that. I seen him. Off balance. How you take your shoe off?
My grandmother was the type of people like, yo, we're friends? Okay, you're part of the family. I have every right to hit you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, that's not how it works, Grandma. Say what? I'm like, my own business.
I've been there. You just gotta take it at this point.
I got my mom, and my friends would hate it. It's like, why I gotta get in trouble with you? I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Picking grandma next time, I'll pick grandma up. Come on, grandma, you not hitting me. It's like, nah. But, but family values, that was something I wish I had more of a little bit. Like, as I'm getting older, I want to be able to go mend back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what with you, I know other people, you and other people are having, like, they have different relationships. And I'm learning, too, the relationships between, like, different families are, like, Shawty I'm with, her relationship and their brothers, like, totally different than ours. Totally, like, a whole nother, like, standpoint. And, like, I'm just learning that it's, like, at one point, my cousin and his father, issues. Something happened with his father, didn't do anything with him, but had got a case. I won't go too deep in it. And he won't forgive his father right now. But I'm like, bro, when your father go, I know you're gonna miss him. That boy that took care of you forever, put you in a good position to be where you at right now. And a lot of times people don't think about it like that. Like, sometimes parents were very harsh, very, mean to us sometimes, but they put us in a position to be where we're at now. All the things that they taught us now got us to be right here where we're at, making our own books, putting our own poetry out there for people to, even grandma got us to be here as well. The moms, to be honest.
Yeah. But I'm actually going to try to wrap it up here.
Yes, that's it.
But
it's been, look, hold on. This has been almost 2 hours.
That's trust me.
3! It's almost been 3! We've been talking. Honestly, that's one of the longest. That's gonna be one of the longest podcasts we've done in a long time. So I'm straight. I'm happy with that.
Nah,
because we still could have kept going. I can tell. We could have kept going.
No, that's good. But
I know you got somewhere.
No, but like I said before, if you ever want to do this again, like help out, whatever, let me know. It's an honor.
It's always an honor to have ICARUS.
Lapis.
I want to make sure you say it so I don't fuck it up. Lapis. In the building, in the flesh. Honestly, go check out his book on Amazon.com. Read it. For a voice for
the voiceless.
For the voiceless.
And if anything, if you guys want to read any of my newer stuff, just check out TM Poetry 28 all together in lowercase, or check out my Instagram.
Anything else you want the people to know right now? Shout out anybody. Give anybody else more shout outs.
So like I said, shout out to Luke. Shout out to Black Noise.
No, wait, slow down. Shout out to Luke.
Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Black Noise. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to my work people. Shout out to my little circle of people that always support it. And like, just shout out to my audiences. And my only advice to you guys, and the only little piece of advice, is that seize every moment you can, because like I said earlier, the last thing you want to do is that when your time is up, you die with like your ambition being whispering phantoms. Like, we're gonna die with regrets eventually, but the whole point is to not die with a lot of regrets. So like, anything genuinely you want to do, just do it. Don't let anybody stop you. But it's good to see you.
All right, man. Good to see you, man. I appreciate you, ICARUS Lathis. Appreciate him joining today, man. He's out. And we are going to be out of here as well. We're going to give our shout outs to the people in the chat. Appreciate you, big guy. You remember how to get out of here? Okay, all right, big dog. Safety. That was yours. Wait, you sure it's not your charger right here, bro? It's what? This one?
We have the same charger, and I keep forgetting that mine's is Android.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, cause it's one of them. I don't know who charger that is. All right, buddy.
Because it's the other one that was talking about.
Yeah, in the car.
I forgot that it had the iPhone wire instead of the black wire.
But you know how to get back downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, buddy. Safety. I'm gonna hit you up again. We'll do this again. It was a great podcast. We ended on a subtle note. He was getting his. I'm gonna give y'all his Instagram. Shit, if I can find it, I'll give y'all his Instagram right now. Go support, go follow. Just do me that favor. Right here popped up. ICARUS Lathis. It don't. And when you read it don't sound like it say ICARUS to me, but this is him. Go follow his account. I'm gonna follow his account. I requested it. But this is him right here. Hey, this is 02. But look. Go follow my boy. Please go get him subscribers. His page is private, so you gotta follow him. He has to accept you. He's following me right there. That was probably one of the most heartfelt, deep-felt podcasts I've had in a long time. I'm glad that ICARUS pulled up today. It was really good to have him pull through and be a support system for me. Appreciate Ja. I appreciate he probably not even gonna watch it himself. Shout out to Ja Zero. We were lit as fuck today in the chat too. Shout out to Highlight Workshop. Shout out to Ted. Shout out to Spade Zenkai. I appreciate everybody. Zero. To Jada Goddess. To oh man, honestly, we don't even. I want to do 2 podcasts today. I genuinely want to get one done right now, but I also want to game like crazy today. Like, so then I'm like, I gotta make up my mind low key. We did Power World yesterday. I think we'll do the podcast again today. Even though this was already a 3-hour one, we're gonna go for our double up of the month. This one, the next one's gonna be shorter though. The next one, since we already did 3 hours, next one's gonna be like 45 to 50 minutes. It's gonna be some informative shit. And just my opinions on what I think and if it's true or not. Technically, I'm like, I believe it's true. I believe it's false. Blase. Anyways, ICARUS, everybody. That was ICARUS, man. I appreciate him one more time. Snap it up in the chat. He gave us 2 poetries He read off 2 poetries today. He told us about his grandma. Told us how he could bounce back, how we as people can bounce back sometimes by doing the things we find the love in, which is like poetry. He found love in doing poetry and his hobbies. So he bounced back from, a sense of pain by, putting his pain down on paper and using the pen. We also learned too that it's great to persevere. And it's hard in this life to persevere, but it's great too because you end up with finished products. It might not be your best finished product, but you still end up with some of your work that you wanted to be out there for the people to see, for some people to understand, whether it was a lot, whether it was a little. At least you're trying to start and follow your dreams. And he's on the right page. We're on the right page. I'm glad that we got to link up. We're going to do this again. Probably for like a part 2, especially when his book comes out. So go check out his book now. Check out our channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. Because subscribe just for the simple fact that I told y'all we was going to have somebody, and we had somebody here. Our next guest will be a rap artist. And I will be on his page. Showing y'all all the music and content that he has. So we could be supportive and promoting his channel. So stay tuned. I don't know if it could be this month, it could be next month, to be honest with you. With him, it could be tomorrow. Shit, if I really wanted to, knowing how this one just went. He gonna talk more. He gonna have the mic more, and you feel me? I don't think he gonna talk more, but it's gonna be more straightforward, because nobody gonna talk more than ICARUS. ICARUS he could talk. That's my boy. I was like, we gonna have you for the first one, because you gonna tell me everything I need to know. And I fucked with it. I fucked with this shit so heavy. And then his poems, when he finally explained them, I was like breathing. He was like, she breathed out her nose. And I was like a dragon. Oh, shit. That shit had me I ain't gonna lie. That shit had me tearing up a little bit. I was like, damn, bro. That's a deep ass poem, bro. Because I don't read poems. Y'all already know. I don't read shit. You feel me? I don't be deep into reading. But when he showed me some of his poems, I was like, yo, this nigga really writing. One time he sent it to me, I was like, yo, he really writing right now, bro. He sent me a whole, slab. So I knew I had to get him on here, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out to Ja. Ja said he enjoyed poetry, and he said it was fire. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jada Goddess and everybody who actually was in the comments, man. I appreciate that today. I appreciate that. Yeah, shit. Oh, man. This was great, man. I can't complain. Because, this was so good. This was so good, man. We're out of here, man. We're on to the next thing. Hope ICARUS is happy. Hope everybody's happy with the Solution W stream. We've been in here for damn near 3 hours. We've been on here for 3 hours. You had 6 people in the chat and probably a lot more viewers. So, like I said, hope each and every one of you guys have a blessed rest of your day, man. I'm gonna see y'all on the flip. Peace. Also, like I said, thank you guys so much. Let's make sure we end this off on the right note. Let's end this off on the right note, guys. He's not here anymore either, so I could do this. I thought he was going to stay here a little bit longer.
She didn't have to call me out. I knew nothing. Hello, she treated me like
did it. We did it. We got our first one done of the fucking year. I think we're gonna have like at least 3 more, 4 or 5 more this year. Maybe 6. Why ain't nobody telling me my hat was crooked? The whole time I'm over here looking at him like. Everybody, why y'all so confused? Why ain't y'all nobody read the title? Niggas is like walking in here talking about question mark. Fuck. Hey, we had 9 likes on that hoe. Let's go. Alright, I'm done.